During the entrance exam, I calculated every bonus question to absolute perfection. My goal, escape the school beauty, Ella. But at the exit, her toxic clique was already waiting to strike. Jack, Ella failed her afternoon session. Hand in a blank paper next time or you'll never crawl back to her. The entire group erupted into mocking laughter. I looked at Ella's disgusted face and simply nodded. Got it. Internally, I laughed. The era of being her dog was over. I was finished. I dialed our butler right then, cut their funding entirely, and kicked them onto the streets tonight. Ella called my phone 99 times in a total rage. I didn't answer once, panicking now. Where did all that high and mighty energy go? In my past life, I was the wealthiest heir in the nation, yet I groveled for my own driver's daughter. Blinded by love, I handed her the keys to my father's empire with a single signature. She squandered my fortune on another man, treating her boyfriend like royalty, while I served them like a slave. On her wedding day, I called from my deathbed begging for a small loan for medical treatment. She sneered, "These years with you were a nightmare. Do us a favor and just die already, Jack." Dying. I realized the elite heiress I once rejected had been waiting for me all along. Then it went dark. I opened my eyes and found myself back in senior year of high school. I had dozed off when Ella shook me awake, snapping that Ryan's stomach was acting up again. Go buy him antacids and grab lunch with extra meat. He's too skinny and needs his strength. Ryan slouched at his desk, acting like a fragile prince, while everyone fussed over his minor ache. The entire class was fawning over him, like he was some kind of royalty. I had been Ella's brainless lapdog, skipping every class to fetch her food and run her pathetic errands. Reborn and awake, her arrogance felt pathetic. Who did she think she was treating me like trash? Ella snapped at my hesitation. "What are you spacing out for? Get moving and make it fast." She turned to Ryan, gently patting his back. He looked at me with a fake, smug concern. "It's not right to send Jack," he lied. Ella laughed. "He loves doing this. He'd be upset if I didn't ask." I forced a thin smile and headed to the cafeteria where I ordered 2 full meals for myself. A classmate nearby chuckled. "Look at the lapdog fetching the Queen's tribute again. She wants Ryan someone on her level, not a nobody like you." I asked flatly. "A nobody? You're a servant, son. Riding in her car doesn't make you her equal. Wake up and smell the reality. A loser like you will spend life scrubbing her floors and changing her kids' diapers. That's your destiny." I let out a bitter laugh. So Ella had been telling everyone I was just a servant's son. The only reason she even had a ride to school was because I let her in my private limo. Somehow she became the heiress while I became the help. The others just rolled their eyes at me. "Whatever, just get her lunch back before it gets cold." They roared with laughter again. Everyone joined in mocking the fool who dared to dream of a girl way out of his league. I walked out of the cafeteria, but I didn't go back. I sat by the flower bed and ate both meals. I couldn't remember the last time I'd felt full. In my past life, decent food was a luxury. I used to scavenge for leftover vegetables at the market's closing. Meat was nothing but a distant fantasy. Both plates barely satisfied my hunger. By the time I returned to class, the bell had already rung. Ella snapped immediately. "What took you so long? Where's the medicine?" I just looked at her with icy eyes. Every trace of my former warmth was gone. Ella stood there speechless at my cold demeanor. "The antacids for Ryan. Are you deaf? You can't even handle one simple task properly." I glanced at Ryan's pale face. Why should I care? His family was broke, yet he lived like a king. Ever since he and Ella got close, she'd been showering him with attention and my father's wealth. Every luxury my father gifted me, Ella would snatch it away to give to her precious Ryan. Even his designer watch was bought with my credit card. They were living large on my dime while treating me like trash. Ella snapped. "Jack, you're really looking for trouble. Keep this up and don't come crying to me. You'll be begging for my mercy soon enough." I looked back at her with a smirk. Forgiveness. For what exactly? What sin have I supposedly committed this time? As I stood my ground, the entire class turned to stare. Since when did this pushover grow a backbone? Ella was visibly shaken. She glared, expecting me to fold like a house of cards. "Fine," she spat. Then don't even think about a ride home later." I simply nodded. "Fine by me." I headed to my seat and sat down, treating her words like background noise. My casual dismissal stunned everyone. Bree, who was hovering over Ryan, immediately barked, "Hey Jack, what is your problem? All you had to do was grab some medicine, but you couldn't even manage that. Can't you see how much Ryan is suffering?" I gave her a look of pure ice. "Then go get it yourself." Bree's face flushed with fake outrage. "That is your job." "Why would it be I owe Ryan nothing?" Bree pointed a shaky finger at me. "Because you're just Ella's family servant." That was the final straw. I turned to Ella, my voice low and dangerous. "Have you been telling people I'm your servant?" Ella flinched as my gaze locked onto hers. Of course, she'd never said the words out loud to the group. She just let everyone assume it because she showed up daily in a luxury car. She loved the lie too much to correct it. She'd never admit her father was just our driver. Somehow I was the one being blamed for making a scene. Ella stormed over and slumped into the chair next to mine. "Fine. Forget the medicine, I'll just deal with it myself." She probably thought this was a jealous tantrum. In her mind, my defiance was just a desperate plea for her attention. "Where's the food then?" she demanded. "No medicine, fine, but you grabbed lunch, right? I heard you had 2 trays. I answered calmly. "I ate them." "Wait, both?" She looked personally insulted, as if I'd stolen the food from her mouth. The kids in front sneered in disgust. "What are you, some kind of animal? You actually polished off 2 whole meals." They were used to worshiping Ella and treating me like dirt. I had allowed their arrogance for far too long. I used to care about their opinions, hoping they'd vouch for me. Now I realized how pathetic my tolerance really was. Every treat Ella bought them was paid for with my money. I said firmly, "I spent my own cash on that. Whether I eat 2 trays or 20, it's none of your business." The crowd went silent, their expressions turning dark. Someone muttered, "His own money. Doesn't Ella's family pay for every single thing he owns?" Ella was fuming, mostly because she was starving and I hadn't brought her a thing. Her temper finally boiled over. "Jack, you asked for this," she hissed. "Let's see how long you can last without me." She grabbed her bag and glared at Bree. "Switch seats. You sit here." This was her classic punishment for my disobedience. After all, she knew I had practically begged for the privilege of sitting beside her. She was supposed to be my tutor, but she never helped me study once. I was just her personal errand boy. She expected the move to rattle me, but I didn't care. I ignored her existence entirely while her stomach growled. Ryan was still groaning from his cramps. Ella sat nearby, shooting daggers at me from across the classroom. This time, she was truly livid. She was already planning how she'd make me crawl when I eventually came to apologize. After the final bell, the Maybach was waiting. I walked straight to the car without a single backward glance. By now, the whole school knew I'd crossed her. They were waiting for me to fail. When I hopped in, whispers flew. "Look at him. He refuses to buy her lunch, yet he's still freeloading in her family car." A servant's son acting like a prince. Ella is way too patient with that ungrateful loser. I heard every single word. I couldn't care less. I settled into the plush seat and told the driver, "Let's go. Drive." The driver glanced at me through the mirror. "But Miss Ella isn't here yet. We should wait a few minutes." Ella was usually late because of the student council, and I had always been the loyal dog waiting hours for her. He expected the same submissiveness today. He was openly taking Ella's side, ignoring the actual heir of the house. I let out a mocking laugh. "Uncle Steve, my father has only 1 child. Since when do we have a young miss?" "Did you 2 have a spat?" he asked with fake concern. "Don't worry, I'll talk to her." "Don't bother, just drive." "I'm done riding with her. I don't want to see her face anymore." Uncle Steve hesitated, staying completely still. He remembered how easily I used to cave to his daughter. I never had the courage to push back before. He figured if he ignored me, the worst he'd face was a little scolding from Ella later on. He was already dreaming of a future where his daughter inherited my family fortune. He'd forgotten his place entirely. He was already acting like my father-in-law. Driving or what? I scowled. Honestly, my dad wanted him gone ages ago. Rumors said Uncle Steve was a secret gambler. Dad hated having a liability around, but back then I was blinded and defended him constantly. I kept him just to stay near Ella. I'd even praised him as a saint to everyone. That's the only reason he had a job. Now he wouldn't even follow my orders. They arrived. Seeing Ella at the gate, Uncle Steve practically leaped from the car. Ella approached supporting Ryan. Steve held the door while Ella helped her boy inside. To keep Ella close, I'd let Ryan tag along daily. We'd drop him off before heading home. I'd even wake up early just to fetch him. But today I spoke before he entered. Didn't she say she wasn't riding today? Yet here she is. The onlookers were stunned. "What's Jack's deal? That's Ella's ride, right? He's blocking her." Whispers erupted everywhere. Ella froze, her face hardening. She couldn't fathom what had gotten into me. I cornered her. "Drop it, Jack. I already forgave your lunch stunt." "I don't need your forgiveness. Find your own way home. You're not getting in." Ella's face paled, then flushed red. Everyone saw her as the rich girl. If she was stranded, her reputation would shatter. She shoved me aside and helped Ryan in. "Don't push it, Ella." She actually annoyed me. I'd forgotten so much, but seeing her face now brought it all back. How did I ever love someone so intolerable? Ella ignored me, refusing to even argue. She barked at her father to drive. Steve sped off, leaving me on the curb. The crowd roared with laughter. "Serves him right. That's what you get for being a jerk." I grabbed my phone. It was a cheap Nokia Ella bought worth a few $100 max. To impress her, I'd traded my brand new iPhone for this piece of junk. I thought I was protecting her pride. Looking at this trash now, I just called Dad. Minutes later, the Maybach roared back. It screeched to a halt at the gate. Uncle Steve hopped out, looking pale. He'd clearly been chewed out. "Get them out," I ordered. "I'm not sharing a ride." Steve turned to the car. Ella and Ryan were completely blindsided. Ryan was trembling. "Jack, hate me if you want, but don't take it out on Ella." Ella silenced him with a gesture. "Don't bother." Once they exited, I climbed inside. I rolled down the window, waved, and smirked. "Bye." Steve looked horrified in the mirror. "Young master," he stammered. "It's just a spat. Don't be so harsh on her." "I'll make Ella apologize. But without a ride, she'll have to take the bus." "Who knows when she'll get home?" "Everyone else takes the bus, Steve. Why can't she—" "Forgot who pays you, quit if you don't like it." He really thought he'd own my fortune. He'd stopped treating me like his boss and more like a tool. Without my father's intervention, he would have ditched me. Back home, Auntie Chen greeted me. "A young master, you're alone. Where's Miss Ella?" "There is no Miss Ella here anymore." Auntie Chen blinked in shock. Had her young master finally woken up? I'd spoiled Ella so much she'd forgotten her place. Auntie Chen had always kept quiet. She feared upsetting me. Now hearing my cold words, she looked genuinely relieved. Among the staff, she was the only one who truly cared for me. I'd resented her before for serving Ella. In my past life, Ella fired her first. Remembering her fate, my eyes burned with regret. "I'm heading up," I said. "Of course." "Oh, Miss Sophia is here. Send her away." Sophia visited often, but my obsession with Ella made me despise her. I used to refuse every visit. I'd just have the guards kick her out. In my past life, we were total strangers. Yet as I lay dying, her people were the ones who saved me. She never forgot she was my fiancée. I told Auntie Chen I'd find her. She's in the backyard playing with Snowball. I stepped outside and found Sophia feeding him. Honestly, I had always wanted that dog for myself. But Ella hated dogs, so I stayed away. Yet here was Sophia looking completely at peace with the pup. Clad in her simple blue school uniform, she looked radiant. Somehow she turned the most ordinary clothes into high fashion. Remembering how she'd lived a woman with everything who died completely alone, my heart began to ache. My eyes stung with regret. Sophia finished petting Snowball and looked up startled. She hadn't heard me approaching. She started toward me, then hesitated, remembering how much I'd always disliked her. She froze in her tracks. Young Master Jack. Sophia was breathtaking, possessing a quiet grace that far surpassed her teenage years. Though we were the same age, she carried herself like a queen. Academically, she reigned supreme over the entire province. She was the one person Ella truly loathed. Ella always claimed Sophia's success was just a product of her privilege. She dismissed Sophia's hard work as mere luck. "She's only this good because her family gives her everything," Ella sneered. I had let Ella's toxic jealousy infect my own mind. Every time Sophia excelled, I joined in on Ella's bitter irritation. I'd started treating this innocent girl like an enemy. But why she had never actually done anything to me? We had barely even spoken before. This time I kept my voice soft and calm as I finally addressed her. "Did you need something? I just came to check on you," Sophia said gently. Sensing my silence, she gracefully pivoted. "I'll go now. I know you don't want me here." She hadn't expected to see me. She just wanted Snowball. She didn't expect a single word from me. As she turned to leave, I blurted it out before thinking. "Do you want to stay for dinner?" Sophia froze in shock. She looked at me with wide eyes. "Is that okay?" The evening sun softened her features. Of course it is. Ella wasn't back yet. She was still busy dropping Ryan off. In the past, I would have waited hours for Ella. Seeing me ready to eat early left Auntie Chen stunned. "Are we not waiting for Miss Ella? Why bother?" The staff was so used to me revolving my world around her. Now that I had stopped, they didn't know how to react. Auntie Chen wisely chose not to push further. "I'll prepare everything now. Also, fire Uncle Steve. He is never allowed to step foot on these grounds again." Auntie Chen swallowed her surprise, knowing it wasn't her place to ask. "Understood, young master." With Ella's father officially gone, I sat down. Sophia kept stealing shy, nervous glances at me from across the table. Whenever our eyes met, she'd quickly look away. I hadn't expected her to be this flustered. I felt like teasing her. "Why won't you look at me? Am I that ugly? My grades are terrible, but my face is still top tier, right? If Ella hadn't dragged me down, I would have thrived." Sophia looked back at me, her expression perfectly composed. "You're not ugly," she murmured. But if you looked closely, her ears had turned bright red. I couldn't help smiling. "I heard your grades are legendary." She wasn't used to my warmth. "They're just all right," she replied shyly. "Do you know any good tutors? I really need a recommendation." Relying on Ella was no longer an option. I wasn't going to be a lazy heir anymore. I couldn't assume my father would protect me forever. I'd barely cracked a book in my first life. Now I'd fix that. And Sophia had the best connections. Her recommendation would actually be worth something. A tutor. "But what about Ella?" Sophia asked, confused. "Everyone knew Ella lived here as my tutor. She's fired. She never respected me or actually taught me a thing. Every penny I paid her was a total waste. She had zero patience for actually helping me learn." Sophia realized I was serious. This wasn't some joke. She took a slow sip of water, trying to steady herself. "I don't use a tutor. I've always just studied alone. If you'd like, I could tutor you myself every day." She didn't expect a yes. After years of my coldness, being invited to dinner was already a miracle for her. So when my face lit up at her offer, she was caught completely off guard. "Really?" Sophia nodded, flustered by my joy. "Whenever you're ready." "Absolutely," I said, feeling genuinely happy for once. "Of course. I just don't want to ruin your own precious study time." "It won't," Sophia said. Her face remained calm, but her eyes softened in a way that was hard to miss. She'd already mastered the entire high school curriculum, but she kept quiet, afraid of scaring me off with her brilliance. "Then I'll be in your care," I said. "My grades are a disaster, so please don't give up on me." Ella had the brains, but she didn't possess a single drop of patience. If I didn't grasp a concept the very first time she explained it, she'd immediately explode at me in a fit of rage. My scores used to be decent, but under her toxic tutoring, my grades plummeted right along with my self-esteem. "I won't," Sophia promised firmly. "I'll see you after school then." Later that evening, a heavy silence hung over the dinner table as we ate. I picked up my chopsticks and placed a choice cut of meat on her plate. "Relax and eat your fill. There's no need for formalities here." At that exact moment, Ella burst through the door after dropping off Ryan. She clearly heard the news about her father's firing and was absolutely fuming. She stopped dead in her tracks, watching me share a meal with another girl. Her expression instantly shifted into a mask of pure ice. I barely spared her a glance and kept eating. Ella had come to hunt me down over her father, but the sight of Sophia stole her words. "What is she doing here?" She spat, her face twisted with annoyance. In the past, I'd avoided every other girl in school just to keep Ella happy. Whenever Sophia tried to reach out, I would cruelly turn her away without so much as a second look. But now she was sitting at my table. "She's my guest," I said coldly. "Got a problem with that?" Ella sat down slowly, her eyes burning into me. "You only invited her to spite me, didn't you?" To Ella, Sophia was the ultimate rival, the one person she could never truly beat. As long as Sophia held the top rank, first place remained an impossible dream for Ella. Sophia stayed silent, completely unfazed by the tension. "You're overthinking it, Ella. You're just not that important anymore." Once she was my entire world, the center of my universe. I had poured everything I had into her, but given a second chance at life, all I felt looking at her was pure revulsion. Loving a person like this had been a poison that nearly dragged me into the abyss. "If you think seeing you with another girl will hurt me, Jack, you're delusional," she scoffed. "In fact, I wish you'd find someone else and leave me alone. Maybe then you'd finally stop pestering me." With a sharp huff, she stormed upstairs, leaving a trail of bitterness in her wake. I was left speechless by her sheer audacity. Once she vanished, I noticed a subtle, complicated shadow flicker across Sophia's face. "Ignore her," I said quickly, worried she'd taken the insults to heart. Sophia remained silent, her thoughts hidden behind a veil of mystery. The warmth in her eyes had been replaced by a noticeable chill. Once dinner was over, I walked her to the front door. "Get home safe." She nodded and left without a single word, as quiet as a ghost. I turned and headed back inside. Ella was already descending the stairs, having traded her school blazer for a casual short-sleeved shirt. Despite her ugly soul, she looked deceptively fragile and beautiful. That was the exact trap she'd used to manipulate me in the past. "Why did you fire my father?" she demanded, finally letting her mask slip now that Sophia was gone. She couldn't risk anyone knowing she was actually just the daughter of my family's driver. A scene in front of Sophia would have been social suicide. "Do I really need to justify firing a servant to you?" I countered. "That's my father!" Ella screamed. "Everything today was my fault, not his. If you want to punish someone, then fire me too." The word fire was music to my ears. I looked her dead in the eye, a cold smile spreading across my face. "Is that a promise?" I challenged. "You've always looked down on me, haven't you? Fine, it's over. Pack your bags and get out." "I'm hiring a real tutor. Ever since you started helping me, my grades have been nothing but a disaster. Frankly, you're not worth a single penny I've paid you." Ella froze, unable to believe I was actually cutting her off. "Your grades suck because you're slow," she lashed out. "I explained things once to Ryan and he gets it instantly, but you're a hopeless case. I was wasting my breath even trying. It won't matter who you hire, you'll still be a failure." "The problem isn't the teacher, it's you." She was still trying to gaslight me. "Get out of my house, Ella, now." Her brow furrowed in disbelief. "You're just a student. Focus on your work instead of obsessively chasing after me all day. No wonder you're a failure." I stared at her, genuinely confused by her delusions. Ella let out a mocking, cold laugh. "This is just a petty game because you're jealous of me and Ryan. You're only hurting because I refuse to date you. I'm focused on my future and getting into a top-tier university, something you'll never understand. Unlike me, you're just a rich brat who relies on family money, so don't expect anything from me." I stared at her, genuinely stunned by her arrogance. Then the hilarity of it hit me. "Who said anything about us being together?" "Ella, where does this ego come from? Do you honestly think I still want you without my wealth? You are nothing." Ella brushed it off as me being stubborn. "Think whatever you want, but consider this a final warning. Invite Sophia over again, and don't expect me to ever acknowledge you." She slammed her bedroom door so hard the house shook. What a temper. She acted as if she owned the place. I headed to my room and immediately dialed Auntie Chen to handle the rest. "Starting tomorrow, toss Ella's stuff out. There's no space here for anyone who thinks they can step on me." I snagged Sophia's digits from Auntie Chen and hit her up. "Home safe?" I asked. Total radio silence. The next morning, I woke up whenever I felt like it. No more playing chauffeur for Ryan. Peace at last. I figured Ella would be long gone, but there she was, haunting the dining table. I just sat and ate. For months I'd been skipping breakfast just to cater to Ryan's schedule. I finally had a real meal. I glanced at Ella, her face set in that same old stubborn mask. She still thought she held the strings. Breakfast finished, I headed for the exit with Ella trailing behind. The new driver was already waiting, door open. I stepped inside and she followed. I raised an eyebrow. "Ella? Didn't you say you'd never ride with me?" I remembered every single insult from yesterday. She bit her lip, remaining silent, unable to find a comeback. If her father hadn't forced her to play nice, she'd still be acting out. Money really talks, doesn't it? Who does he think he is? Whatever her dad needs the work. I told the driver school now. We arrived and I stepped out. Normally Ryan would be here, but today he was stuck on the bus. Ryan spotted us and jogged over, his eyes darting between us. Yesterday's drama clearly had his head spinning. He couldn't believe a servant's son was acting like this. "You two cool now?" he asked. I ignored them. I walked straight past them without a word. Ella's brow furrowed as she watched me leave her behind. "He's not even worth the argument," Ella muttered. Ryan scoffed. "Why let a servant's kid disrespect you like that?" "People are talking, Ella. They're saying Jack is the real boss here." Ella just told him to shut it. "My dad and Jack are close. He asked me to keep an eye on him. I can't just quit." Ryan relaxed, buying her excuse. I reached class only to find Bree blocking my usual seat with a smirk. "Move!" I commanded. Bree glared. "You've got nerve leaving Ella and Ryan stranded at the gate yesterday." I let out a cold laugh. "My car, my rules, and remind me again. Who are you?" My confidence left them speechless. "Wait, you're saying that Maybach is actually yours?" "Obviously," I replied flatly. Bree laughed mockingly. "Come on, Jack. We all know your place. You think you can play prince here?" "Everyone knows that driver's your dad. Your whole family serves the Youngs. Ella's just being too nice." "Otherwise, you'd be out on the street. Don't push it." Bree was tight with Ryan, so people listened. The lies were spreading fast, and the crowd believed her. Just then, Ella and Ryan appeared at the door. Ella looked tense. Bree's loud mouth wasn't just hitting me. It was making Ella look weak. She marched over. "Go back to your seat, Bree." Sensing the ice in Ella's voice, Bree grabbed her things and scrambled. Ella sat beside me again. I didn't care. She was the golden girl, but her presence meant nothing now. Nobody questioned her moving seats. Bree retreated to Ryan's side, her face twisted in a deep, bitter pout. She whispered to Ryan, "What's her deal? Jack treats her like trash and she's still playing his bodyguard. He's living at her place now, her dad's orders." Ryan sighed. "It's just charity. Don't overthink it." "Oh," Bree whispered. "That explains the act. He actually tried to claim that luxury car was his." "Look at their gear. Ella has the best, but Jack's phone is basic. He's just a wannabe rich boy." I ignored the whispers and checked my phone. Sophia finally replied. Just one word, but it felt heavy. She was acting ice cold. Yesterday we were vibing, but now she was distant. A total mystery of a girl. Ella was hovering right next to me, her eyes catching a glimpse of the name on my screen. "Sophia," she whispered, frowning. I could feel her staring. I wasn't the same pushover she used to know. I tapped out a quick text to Sophia. "Still on for tutoring this afternoon." I hit send. Her reply was instant. "Yes." Good enough for me. I put the phone away and focused on class. I'd never been this focused before. When lunch hit, Ryan came for Ella. She looked at me expectantly. My new attitude had her reeling. No more napping in class. I was busy perfecting my study notes. My world used to revolve entirely around her. Now I actually had goals that didn't involve her smile. Ella watched me work, her curiosity finally getting the better of her. I acted like she didn't even exist. Ryan pulled at her arm. "If he's busy, let's just go. We'll bring him snacks." "Don't bother," I snapped. On the surface, Ryan was the golden boy everyone adored. Even when the rumors swirled, he kept up his decent act, but I wasn't about to become his debtor. I packed my belongings with surgical precision and walked out, finally choosing my own path. Ryan shadowed Ella, whispering, "What's with him? He's ghosting you. What did you do?" Ella looked like her world was spinning. She searched for answers. Usually, no matter how much frost she gave me, I'd come crawling back like a desperate puppy. But since yesterday, the script had flipped. I wasn't playing her game anymore. Lost in thought, she heard Ryan ask, "So are you still inviting that guy to your birthday bash this weekend?" The big day was approaching. Last year she celebrated in pure luxury at the Imperial View Hotel. I was the one who funded every detail, dropping hundreds of thousands to let her play the popular queen. The entire school raved about it for months. An invite to Ella's party was the ultimate status symbol. This year was no different. I'd handled everything. If I hadn't fired her as my tutor, she never would have questioned my loyalty. But after my sudden cold shoulder, a seed of doubt began to sprout in her mind. If I didn't show up, her royal party would crumble. She watched me leave, forcing herself to breathe. "Relax," she thought. "He'll show. He always does. He'd never miss my big day." Maybe this cold act was just a prelude to a surprise. "He'll be there," she told Ryan, who nodded in agreement. He'd never missed a beat before. While they rehearsed for the school event, I headed straight home. Sophia was already waiting. As I entered, she and Snowball greeted me, and a genuine smile escaped my lips. Perhaps it was a soul-deep bond from a past life, but seeing her felt like finding something truly precious. Sophia blinked, startled. She was used to my icy wall, not this sudden gentle warmth. This new side of me kept her off balance. She couldn't even hold my gaze. I smiled. "You're early. To the study." I led her upstairs. "A lot of today's lessons were a blur. I was hoping you could clear the fog for me." We settled in. That chair used to be Ella's throne, though she never actually bothered to teach me a thing. Ella would have just mocked me for wasting her time. Instead, Sophia pulled out 2 practice exams to test my level. She wanted a baseline. I tackled the problems with focus and handed them back for her verdict. Sophia scanned them in silence. I shifted, feeling the weight of the quiet. "Sorry, I'm a lost cause, aren't I?" "It's not that," Sophia whispered. "Your method is just messy. Let's rebuild from the ground up. Ready?" I gave a firm nod. When she teaches, she stays focused on the pages, never daring to look up as she explains. But her voice was like a lighthouse. Her explanations were sharper and clearer than any lecture I'd ever heard. Concepts that haunted me for months finally made sense. After a long stretch, Sophia finally stopped for a breath. As she looked up, she caught me staring. She swallowed hard, blushing as she quickly hid behind the notes. "Is something wrong?" she asked. I laughed. "You're so patient here, but on your phone you're like an ice queen. Just 2-word replies. Is it because of Ella? Are you mad?" Sophia shook her head immediately. "Family was visiting yesterday. I didn't see your text until the sun came up this morning. If you need me, just call. Anytime." We were back in the zone when my phone suddenly screamed for attention. It was Ella. "Jack, what on earth do you think you're doing?" Her voice was dripping with venom. I was genuinely baffled. "What now? You had them toss all my stuff out." I glanced at Sophia. No more lies. "I told you yesterday you're fired," I said coldly. "That means you have 0 reason to step foot in my house. I'm busy. Don't call again." Click. Meanwhile, Ella stood paralyzed at the gate, staring at her luggage in the dirt. Reality finally hit her. I was actually cutting her out. I set the phone down. "Back to work." Sophia stayed quiet. Minutes later, the study door was nearly kicked off its hinges. Ella stood there fuming. Her eyes darted between us with pure disgust. I stood up, my voice steady. "What are you still doing here?" "I thought I wasn't worth your time. If I'm so beneath you, why are you the one who can't walk away?" Ella stepped in, her voice like a whip. "Do you enjoy this, humiliating me in front of everyone?" Sophia instinctively stepped in front of me. I let out a sharp laugh. "Humiliate you? You've got it all wrong. How am I the villain here? I paid for your entire lifestyle while you treated me like garbage. While you and Ryan were playing house, I was just your hired help, catering to your every whim like a servant. Enduring your icy indifference every single day. Wasn't that the real humiliation? I'm simply reclaiming what's rightfully mine." She called it humiliation, her lips tightening in defiance. "Don't think bringing a guest will force my hand," she hissed. "I'll never love you. We are over. Let me make that crystal clear once and for all." She stormed out, nearly crashing into the door in her rage. I opened the window, letting the city sounds drown her out. I watched her descent bags in hand, head held high, never looking back. A clean break. Ella's pride was always her armor. Born into poverty, yet she possessed a spine of pure steel. No amount of my wealth could ever make her bow. That stubborn pride was once what I adored. Now it just felt pathetic. "Jack!" Sophia's voice cut through the silence. She was still waiting. "Sorry," I muttered, turning back. Sophia bit her lip. "Maybe I should leave you alone." "You seem troubled." I shook my head. "I'm fine. Just reflecting on past mistakes. This isn't about Ella anymore." Watching her walk away felt like a weight lifting off my soul. The suffocating dread was finally starting to vanish. In this life, I wouldn't let her destroy me. I wouldn't wither away again. "I'll go then," Sophia said, heading out. I reached out, catching her wrist. Sophia went still, turning to me with wide, questioning eyes. "What is it?" I acted on instinct, sensing her hesitation. Whenever Ella barked her orders, Sophia would instinctively retreat into the shadows. My obsession with Ella had been public news. I had worn my heart on my sleeve for the world to see. Everyone, Sophia included, believed I was hopelessly enslaved by Ella, and truth be told, I absolutely was. If not for the horrific betrayal of my past life, I might never have woken up. I released her hand gently. "Are you free this Saturday? I'd like to take you to dinner at the Imperial View Hotel. Join me." I craved a lavish feast after a lifetime of metaphorical starvation. Before I would have dragged Ella there without a thought. Now she was the last person I wanted to see. Sophia was the partner my father had carefully chosen for me. If I played my cards right, she'd be my wife by graduation. I once hated my father for this arrangement. But seeing her now, she rivaled Ella in beauty and surpassed her in every other way imaginable. She was the one who chose me. Truly, I was the lucky one. "You aren't going with her," Sophia whispered. She meant Ella. "Would you prefer I did want me to keep ignoring you?" "Never," Sophia replied instantly. "Then it's a date. Saturday afternoon." I arrived at the hotel just a few minutes behind schedule. Familiar faces crowded the entrance, all draped in designer labels and fake smiles, looking their absolute best. Bree spotted me first, letting out a mocking laugh. "Jack, you actually had the nerve to show up here." I frowned. Why wouldn't I? The owner is my father's close associate. I go where I please. Give me a reason not to. Bree snickered. "Ella has ghosted you all week, yet here you are crashing her big 18th birthday bash. Pathetic." Ella's birthday. Right. It hit me like a ton of bricks. I'd been so buried in studies I'd completely forgotten. If they hadn't mentioned it, that memory would have stayed buried in the trash where it belonged. I had already booked the venue. Last year I threw her a legendary party that was the talk of the town. But that was the same night I discovered the truth about Ella and Ryan's secret affair. I confronted her, but she didn't even blink. "Ryan and I are in love. Why can't we be together?" "Jack, stop suffocating me," she had screamed. I walked away, then consumed by a silent, burning rage. We didn't speak for 2 days, but like a fool I was the one who crawled back and apologized. After that, they stopped hiding it. I eventually hit rock bottom, begging her to marry me and stay. I even signed over my father's entire company legacy. What an absolute clown I was. Now I felt nothing. The crowd meant nothing to me. I had funded this entire event. Every single drink was on my tab. Even after I cut her off, she still had the audacity to bring her entourage here to spend my money. I wondered how she'd react when the bill finally arrived. I ignored the whispers and headed straight for the elevator. The doors slid open, revealing Ella and Ryan locked in a cozy conversation until her eyes landed on me. Her gaze sharpened instantly. A smug smirk played on her lips. "I knew you couldn't resist showing up, Jack." She stepped toward me, oozing arrogance. "Didn't you claim you were staying away? Don't think your presence means I've forgiven you." I'm still furious. She always used her anger as a leash to control me. I simply tilted my head, smirking. "Did you need something? Why on earth would I be here for your birthday? I wasn't even invited. You have a whole crowd here. You won't miss a single person, right?" Ella glared at me, fuming. She thought I was just playing games, picking a fight to annoy her. Suddenly, the manager approached. "Young Master Jack, I've looked into Sophia's arrival as you requested." The manager nodded. "She's arrived." I asked him to lead the way, and he turned to guide me. Ella trailed behind me, snapping, "Jack, stop this. Are you really looking for Sophia? She's way too soft-hearted." I shot her a cold look. "I'm not the one causing drama, you are. Didn't you say I was annoying? You told me to vanish, and now I have. So tell me, what's the problem now?" "Your boyfriend is waiting," I said, nodding toward a stunned Ryan. He'd never seen Ella chase me like this. I knew her game. It wasn't my heart she feared losing, it was the massive fortune in my pocket. She despised me, yet devoured every gift I offered. Her mouth said no, but her hands were always open. Now that I'm cutting her off, she's terrified. This birthday party was her biggest project, and it's crumbling. She couldn't let her status die. "If it's about Ryan," Ella pleaded, "I'll stay away from him. Just stop making a scene." For the first time ever, the untouchable queen was actually backing down. Her desperation spoke volumes. This party was everything to her hollow, social-climbing heart. She lived for appearances, crafting a rich girl persona and inviting half the school just to show off. I'd seen her play the untouchable queen, but watching her break over a party that was truly pathetic. It was pure entertainment. I gave a slow, mocking nod. "Right. It is your big day, after all. We wouldn't want to ruin the fun, right?" I turned to the manager. "Check the Jade Hall for Ella." The manager checked the books. "Yes, everything is in order for the celebration, young Master Jack. It's her birthday, so let her use the hall." I looked at Ella. "Does that satisfy you?" Ella exhaled, thinking she'd won. "So you did all this just to tear me and Ryan apart? You're delusional. I don't care who you date. In time, Ella, you will realize the truth. Without me, you're nothing." My words cut deep, stripping away every ounce of her pride right then and there. "I'm done with you," she hissed, storming off. The manager shot me a curious, lingering look. "Prepare the hall," I ordered. "But one rule, no one leaves until she pays the entire bill herself." "Understood, young master." Leaving the chaos behind, I went to find Sophia while Ella crawled back to Ryan. Ryan noticed her dark expression. "What happened?" Ella just shook her head. "Nothing worth mentioning." She looked at Ryan's gentle face. Break up with him for Jack. In her dreams, maybe. She planned to cut me off forever tonight. Meanwhile, Sophia was waiting, but she wasn't in her uniform. She wore a simple dress that radiated an effortless, breathtaking elegance. She looked absolutely stunning. I walked in to find her studying the menu. Her eyes met mine. "Waiting long? Just got here," she smiled. Sophia scanned my casual outfit. I looked relaxed today, though my frame was still a bit on the lean side. I slid into the seat right next to her. The sudden intimate proximity made her go completely still. Despite the empty chairs, I leaned in. "Ordered yet?" she stammered. "Not yet. Still looking." "Let me see." As I leaned over to read with her, Sophia's focus shattered. Her gaze kept drifting toward me instead. My scent was clean and fresh, captivating her. Meanwhile, I was craving something bold and intensely flavorful. I needed a meal that made my very soul feel alive and vibrant. My past life was a nightmare of hunger and cold. Even now, reborn, those memories still haunt my dreams. The food was blazing hot. I fanned my mouth, reaching for cool watermelon juice to douse the flames. "Spicy enough for you," Sophia teased. I grinned. "It's perfect. I love it," she replied with a wink. She began to eat as the server stood watch. In this private room, the world outside simply vanished. Suddenly, Miles, the hotel owner, entered. I greeted him warmly. "Uncle Miles, it's good to see you." Miles smiled at me, but his eyes were elsewhere. "Jack, you're here." He clearly wasn't looking for me. He turned immediately to Sophia, bowing respectfully. "Miss Sophia, it is an honor to have you here. If you need anything, just ask." His deference revealed Sophia's true status, someone even my father highly respected. Nobody suspects the truth. The Sophia family's hidden jewel is living right here in total secrecy. Sophia gives a cold nod, her focus remaining entirely on her meal. I expected warmth, but she's icy. It's clear Sophia simply despises small talk with strangers. Miles lingers, pouring water in silence. The atmosphere is thick with her stay-away energy. Reading the room, Miles bows out. "Enjoy your meal." But I can't let him leave yet. "Uncle Miles, wait." He pauses, turning back with a puzzled look. Young Master Jack, do you need something? His genuine smile is disarming. He's the type of person everyone naturally likes and trusts. However, my memories of the past life tell a much darker story. 3 days after Ella's party, the Imperial View Hotel will burn to the ground. Faulty systems and useless extinguishers will turn this luxury hotel into a death trap claiming many lives. The city's crown jewel never recovered. They say the shock of the disaster eventually killed Miles. I lock eyes with him. Is your fire safety up to code? Miles looks completely stunned. An odd question, Jack. Just a hunch, I reply, keeping it vague. Check the kitchen, just to be safe. Miles scoffs. Our safety standards are absolute, I assure you. We protect our guests. I don't flinch. Uncle Miles, why not see for yourself? My persistence strikes a nerve. His expression hardens. What are you trying to imply, young master? You doubt me. Your father knows I run an honest business. We've been friends for years. He's insulted. To him, I'm just a brat who doesn't understand how the real world works. Suddenly, Sophia speaks. A quick check won't hurt. She hadn't even looked at him until now. Her voice is quiet, yet every word she utters carries the weight of a royal decree. Miles immediately yields. I'll go. Her noble background commands respect that no one can ignore. Though we're the same age, her presence is light years beyond anything I can muster. Once he's gone, I turn to her. Why help me? I know the truth is coming. To her, my warning should sound insane, but she just shrugs. You spoke up. I listened. What if I lied? So, she replies. A walk to the kitchen costs him nothing. Her calm logic is overwhelming. For the first time, I feel someone actually believes in me. I remember the day of my diagnosis. Back then, everyone called me reckless. No one listened. If it were my fault, I'd accept it. But they just looked at me with pure disgust. I started to loathe myself. I didn't realize Ella was the one pulling the strings. She used a tainted needle to frame me all to escape our marriage. A truly devilish plan. Only the culprit knows your innocence. Sophia and I finish our meal in a comfortable silence. We stay for dessert. I even pull out my homework, treating the restaurant like a library. Sophia tutors me until evening. Meanwhile, Ella's party ends, but the guests find the doors barred. The bill is unpaid. Ella calls me, but I let the phone ring. Sophia watches. Not answering. I know it's her. I let it ring twice more before picking up. Jack, what is this? Ella screams. Her rage only makes my heart feel lighter than ever. I'm done with her, but the blood debt from my past life must be settled. I grin. Ella, why the temper? Get over here and pay this now, she hisses out. She planned to dump me tonight. She never expected me to turn the tables like this. Now she's trapped in front of everyone, unable to pay. The social pressure is crushing her. Strange, I muse. I wasn't invited. Why would I pay? Why not ask your dear friends? I'm sure they'll chip in. They love you, right? After all, you're such a generous friend. I used to give her over $100,000 a month. She spent it like a queen. She viewed it as a tutoring fee. Fair trade, she thought. She loved playing the wealthy benefactor. Everyone flocked to her for the freebies, never knowing every single cent came from my pocket. Ella's voice trembles as she pleads, Jack, does it have to be this way? What's your price? Just tell me what you want to settle the bill. I smirk into the phone. If you're begging for a favor, you should at least try to sound polite, don't you think? Her sharp, frustrated exhale echoes in my ear. I'm done playing her loyal lapdog. My defiance stokes her fury, and I can't help but smile at the delicious tension of her anger. Fine, I'm hanging up. Ella spits out the words, her knuckles turning white as she grips her phone in a desperate death grip. With the staff blocking every exit, there's no escape for them. I end the call and stand. Wait here, Sophia. I'll be right back, I say calmly. I stride into the Jade Hall. My former classmates are still huddled inside, trapped like helpless rats in a gilded, expensive cage. Every judgmental eye is fixed on Ella, waiting for a payment that won't come. The suffocating awkwardness is heavy. She is completely cornered with nowhere to run. She stands exposed under their piercing gazes. But the moment I walk in, the manager's eyes light up, and she instantly rushes over to greet me. Young Master Jack, she bows respectfully. I survey the room. These elites look down on me this afternoon, treating me like trash. How the tables have turned. Now this same arrogant crowd is paralyzed by a bill they can't afford. There's nothing more humbling than being trapped by your own vanity and an unpaid debt. I flash a mocking smile. What's with the long faces? Isn't this a birthday party? Nobody here looks very happy at all. I lock eyes with Ella. Her expression is a mask of pure shadow. Nearby, Ryan stands frozen, clearly drowning in a sea of confusion and doubt. The manager clarifies the situation. Miss Ella hasn't settled the account yet, so I've asked everyone to remain until the bill is fully taken care of. I dismiss her concern with a casual wave. Is that all? No need to make a scene. These are my classmates after all. I'll handle the bill tonight. I slide my card to the manager. She takes it with professional grace and immediately processes the massive payment. The atmosphere shifts instantly as disbelief ripples through the room. It's Ella's birthday, yet Jack is the one holding the check. The irony is deafening. Whispers erupt. Can she not afford her own party? Ella's face burns a deep crimson as she stares at me with eyes full of venomous shame. She thinks she sees my game. To her, this was a calculated strike to expose her poverty and show everyone that she's truly dependent on my money. I could have settled it quietly, but I chose to make it a spectacle, swiping the card right under the noses of everyone who doubted me. In their eyes, I've completely lost my mind. The manager returns, handing back my card with a polite bow. All set, young Master Jack. Here is your receipt. I glance at the staggering total. 860,000, I announce clearly. Happy birthday, Ella. Consider this my final gift. I'm covering this one, but there won't be a next time. I cut a sharp glance at Ryan. He's standing right beside me, his face turning as pale as a ghost as the reality finally sinks in. The truth hits them like a truck. Was all of Ella's wealth just Jack's money? Wasn't she supposed to be from a wealthy, high-society family? It's a brutal reality check. Bree storms forward, her voice high and shrill. Jack, what kind of sick joke is this? Just because you handle Ella's money doesn't mean it belongs to you. You're clearly overstepping your bounds here. You're just the maid's brat. Why so smug does your family let the help manage your funds? I look at Bree and let out a cold laugh. Since you brought it up, let me set the record straight once and for all. I am not the housekeeper's son. Not even close. Her father was my family's driver, and he's been fired for leaving me stranded to drive Ella and Ryan instead. He's finished. Don't believe me, ask her. I turn to Ella. Well, Ella care to tell them. She glares, eyes filled with bitter, helpless resignation. In her entire life, she has never felt a humiliation this soul-crushing. Her carefully crafted world is finally crumbling into dust before everyone. She's trapped. One wrong word and I could take the money back, leaving her stranded in her own shame. She stays silent, defeated. Without a word, she ignores me and storms out. Ryan, looking like a lost puppy, quickly follows her into the night. The scene is unbearable for them. Ryan is reeling. He never expected his rich girlfriend to actually be the daughter of a mere driver. Why the elaborate lie? Why pretend to come from money while living off the boy she treated like garbage? Once they vanish, I scan the remaining crowd. The show is over. You're all free to go. Take care on your way home. One by one, they scurry out of the Jade Hall. I watch the exodus with cold eyes, before finally stepping out myself into the cool night. The manager escorts me to the elevator just as Sophia arrives. We step inside together, the heavy doors sealing us in a tense silence. Neither of us speaks. I expose the truth back there, but it doesn't erase the scars of the suffering I endured because of them. What I just did to Ella barely scratches the surface of the massive debt I still need to settle. Sophia senses my dark mood and stays quiet. When we reach the lobby, Miles is already there, waiting like a sentinel. The moment our eyes meet, he ignores Sophia and marches straight toward me. It's me he's looking for, his hotel savior. Uncle Miles, I nod politely. He grabs my hand with both of his voice thick with emotion. Jack, I can't thank you enough. You saved us. I investigated personally. There were massive failures everywhere because of my cousin's greed. I've already sent him packing for good. I simply relax. It was nothing, really. Miles looks at me, his eyes full of newfound respect and deep burning curiosity. "How did you know there was trouble?" The question stings. I freeze, searching for a lie. "Just a dream," I mutter. Miles roars with laughter, sensing a secret. "Fair enough. Anyway, I have some gifts prepared for you both." With a snap of his fingers, 2 elegant bags appear. "Take these. Call me if you ever need a favor." His sincerity is real. Miles waves us off as Sophia's luxury car pulls up. I sink into the plush leather. The midnight streets are ghostly quiet. A few distant headlights flicker past. The city feels strangely empty. Usually we're a storm of words, but tonight, silence. Sophia doesn't ask, but her mind is racing. She's wondering how I predicted the fire at the Imperial View, a disaster that hadn't even happened yet. Logically, I shouldn't know his hotel better than he does. Plus, rumors from Jade Hall are spreading fast. Today is Ella's birthday, yet Jack chose another. Not only that, he crushed Ella's pride in front of everyone. He's truly severed the ties. But why does he look so broken? The shadow of grief is fleeting, though. This is my second chance at life. I can rewrite my destiny. I won't let the past repeat itself. These days of nonstop studying are draining my soul. I feel like a battery running on zero. My eyelids weigh a ton. Darkness pulls me under, and I drift onto Sophia's shoulder. Sophia tenses up instantly. By the time we arrive, her arm has completely lost all feeling. She didn't move an inch, terrified of waking me. "Miss, we've arrived," the driver whispers. Sophia peers at me, pale and finally at peace. She hesitates, her hand hovering, unsure if she should wake me. The driver waits outside. Still, Sophia lingers. I feel the engine die and slowly open my heavy eyes. Realizing I'm back at my doorstep, I turn to see Sophia staring back at me. She sits perfectly still, avoiding my gaze. I stretch my stiff neck and sit up. "We're here," she nods. "Why didn't you wake me?" Her face is a mask of stone. "You looked like you needed the rest." I study her carefully and notice something. The tips of her ears are turning bright crimson. She always seemed so cold, but this hidden innocence is a shock. "Sophia," I say, "are you afraid?" "No," she snaps. "Then why won't you look at me? You act like I'm a nuisance." She coughs nervously. "I'm just not used to being close to people." My laughter breaks the tension. "Then why let me stay?" My teasing hits a nerve. To regain control, she fires back a question. "Why did you and Ella fall out? I thought you loved her." The words catch in my throat. I stare out into the dark night. "I just realized I don't." Silence follows. "Whatever I'm going in." I step out as the gate groans open. My father Owen is standing there. Seeing him alive and well sets my heart on fire. "Dad, you're finally back." He's always working, leaving me alone in this massive, silent mansion. The staff never dared to discipline me. I was a wild child, and my father, he was too kind. He gave me everything I ever wanted. Those spoiled golden days were the best of my life. In my past life, I ignored his warnings about Ella. Now seeing him again, I feel a wave of warmth. A buried pain surges within me. I collapse into his arms, tears streaming down my face uncontrollably. Perhaps we only truly break down in front of the ones who love us the most. Dad was ready to scold me for being late, but seeing me sob, he panics, patting my back gently. "Hey, what happened? Who hurt my son? Was it that Ella girl I heard they're gone?" I cling to him tightly. "Nothing. I just missed you." He sighs. "You're such a silly kid." "Wait, is that Sophia's car?" I turn around, surprised to see her still idling at the gate. Sophia steps out into the light. I'm mortified that she saw me crying like a baby. "She gave me a ride. We had dinner," I tell him. Dad's eyes go wide. He remembers the betrothal I once hated. I used to swear I'd never even speak to her. Now we're coming home together after a date. He's confused by my change of heart, but he turns to her with a warm smile anyway. "Sophia, come in for tea." She shakes her head softly. "Not today, Uncle. I should get going." She steals one last glance at me before driving away. I walk inside, Dad's suspicion growing. "Did she upset you?" He looks at my tear-stained face. I just shake my head. "No, she's actually been wonderful." My father's gaze lingers on me. In this timeline, he's still vibrant and full of life, nothing like the frail man I lost in my past. He grills me with question after question, refusing to drop the subject until he's absolutely certain Ella hasn't caused me any more grief. Early Sunday morning, before I can even clear my head, Auntie Chen delivers the news Ella is already waiting at our door. Memories of last night's confrontation surge back. Every bridge between us has been reduced to ashes, and Ella should realize that by now. I'm finished indulging her whims. Yet when I head downstairs, I find she hasn't come alone. Her father is right there with her. Uncle Steve is already busy brown-nosing my father on the sofa, shamelessly pinning every ounce of blame on Ella's lack of discipline. He claims he's given her a stern lecture to ensure I'm never troubled again, but my father's expression remains clouded with suspicion. "Since when were you on a first-name basis with my son?" Dad snaps. He's always seen right through their desperate social climbing. He only tolerated their presence to avoid pushing me away. Realizing his blunder, Uncle Steve begins groveling instantly to save face. Young Master Jack, of course. His eyes lock onto me the moment I appear, his face twisting into a forced, oily smile. He announces that he's brought Ella here to beg for my forgiveness. I shift my gaze toward the girl standing in the shadows. She sits there in stony silence, her expression dark and venomous. An apology. Her blatant resentment tells a completely different story. She's clearly still reeling from the humiliation of last night. There is absolutely no way she came here to make amends. "Uncle Steve, why the drama?" I ask coolly. "Ella's done nothing wrong, but I heard you recently lost your position." He wasn't this panicked when he lost his own job. That paycheck was small and the hours were soul-crushing anyway. But Ella was his golden ticket. Tutoring me was easy money, a massive fortune for doing practically no work at all. He likely dreamed she'd eventually marry into the Yang family fortune. Now that the dream is dead, he's spiraling into desperation. Throughout all the years she supposedly tutored me, my academic performance did nothing but plummet further into the abyss. She even claimed I was too dull to learn, so I simply granted her wish. There's no conflict, I just set her free. Really, no apology is needed. I maintain a perfectly calm facade, ignoring my father's look of pure shock and quiet intrigue. In my past life, I would have thrown a tantrum to keep her near. Back then, Dad had no choice but to indulge my obsession. Now that I've cut her off entirely, Dad looks genuinely moved. He can finally see his son growing into a man of character. I excuse myself to prepare for class, and Dad has them escorted out. After a quick breakfast, I head for the courtyard. I slide into the car as it rolls through the gates. I spot Ella still standing outside her father, looming menacingly beside her. His polite mask has completely shattered. Uncle Steve suddenly lashes out, striking Ella across the face. I know her dark reality. Her father is a compulsive gambler who lost everything. Her mother couldn't take the abuse and abandoned her without looking back. She spent her entire life surviving on borrowed money and sheer desperation, just to stay afloat in this prestigious school. Despite the hell she lives in, she clawed her way to the top, reigning as the school's undisputed #1 genius. I used to worship that strength. I showered her with luxury and devotion, wanting nothing more than to make her life easier. But while I was bleeding for her happiness, she never spared a single moment of genuine concern for my feelings. To her, I was just a walking ATM. Her heart belonged to someone else entirely. I look away and focus on the road ahead. The atmosphere at school has shifted. Following yesterday's events, my classmates' cold glares have turned into eager, fawning smiles. "Jack, is your family really that wealthy? Was Ella just a fraud living off your dime this whole time?" The truth is out. Forget her, young Master Jack. I promise I'm way more agreeable and fun than that Ice Queen. I can't help but chuckle at the blatant flattery. Just as the laughter leaves my lips, Ella walks into the room. She sneers at the girl's words, letting out a cold, sharp laugh. Keep dreaming. He's already scouting for his next victim. The classroom erupts into whispers. A new target who could possibly be a step up from a girl like Ella. Even without her rich girl facade, her beauty and perfect grades are legendary. In their eyes, she's still a fallen goddess. Everyone still believes she's destined for greatness, regardless of the scandal involving my family's wealth. Ignoring the chatter, she drills her gaze into mine. You spent all this time acting like my pathetic little lapdog Jack. Just because I rejected you, you turn into this, trust me. No matter what you do, I will never love you. You're just a spoiled brat with zero talent. Compared to a guy like Ryan, you aren't even worth the dirt on his shoes. Her words strike at my weakest point, my failing grades. To the crowd, I'm just a rich failure who's a dead weight. Before I can even respond, she doubles down. You forced me to invite everyone last night just to humiliate us all. Is that what money means to you? Just a tool to bully people? She stands there oozing a fake sense of justice. Don't weaponize my pride, Ella, and quit the lies you never supported me. You just drained my wallet. That cash was a tutoring fee, nothing more. I'm done paying you, but don't expect any favors back. With a chilling silence, she abandons her seat without even sparing me a final glance. Her rigid posture screams she's done with me. Back to that perfect, untouchable genius mask. Classic Ella. I haven't forgotten her begging for help last night. I almost felt pity when her father struck her. Now I think he went too easy on her. This tutoring insult. It's time for some serious payback. I bark back. Ella, you've got some nerve. Besides spending my money, what did you actually teach me? I ended up at the bottom of the rankings every single month. That's your tutoring at work. Ella's face remains a mask of stone. I warned you, you're just unteachable. That failure is yours, not mine. Maybe use your family fortune to buy a new brain, Jack. The entire room explodes in mocking laughter. I stare at her smug face. Are you sure I was the slow one, or was it just your incompetence? She scoffs, thinking of Sophia's help. Fine, let's settle this with results at the next monthly exam. Just climb 100 spots in the rankings. Do that and I'll admit I was the one at fault. She's banking on Sophia failing to pull off a miracle. In her mind, I'm just a hopeless idiot. Deal, I respond, locking eyes. Only 100 spots. She really thinks that little of my potential. Ella turns to the crowd. He agreed. If he actually moves up, I'll run 10 kilometers as a penalty. A wave of hype ripples through the classroom. Every eye is glued to the scene Ella just created. Bree smirks. If our school beauty is running, shouldn't you too? Can a loser like you even finish? If you're terrified, just back down now. I smirk back. 100 spots, that's barely a challenge. I'm not bluffing. Sophia's way of explaining things actually makes sense. It finally clicked for me. I can feel myself improving every single day. This pressure, it's exactly the fuel I needed to win. Ella catches my nod and sneers. Moron! She whispers, clearly shocked that I actually took the bait. She remembers the old clueless Jack. In her mind, my true academic level is absolute rock bottom. She's already imagining my humiliation. Suddenly Ryan appears at the door, having heard every word. He was miserable all night, but now he's finally rationalized everything in his twisted head. Ella is a genius, beautiful, and a self-made fighter despite her humble roots. She's the total package. Compared to a total deadweight like Jack, isn't she 1,000 times more valuable to him? She'll conquer the world on her own merits. Choosing her is a total win. He marches toward her. Ella, your father works hard for his living. You've always been the top student, despite everything. Fighting your way up without any support. It's inspiring. I promise to stand by your side forever. Ryan's speech is a masterstroke. The students' doubts melt away, replaced by awe at his public devotion. Everyone admires her now. She's not just about money, she has character, unlike certain people in this room. Her grades prove her worth. But Jack, he's a lazy brat who expects everything for free. Shameless. I watch their pathetic little duet and want to gag. What a touching performance from these two snakes. Honestly, they deserve each other. They're a match made in heaven or hell. Good riddance to both. I only have myself to blame for ever getting involved. Now the whole class sees me as trash. First the lapdog label, then the housekeeper's son rumors. Now I'm the idiot. They all avoid again. But I don't care. Compared to the soul-crushing loneliness of my past life, this is child's play. I have my family's wealth and parents who actually love me. I'll focus on the books now. Once the bell rings, my parents pull up in a luxury ride to pick me up from school. They're in their 40s, but they still have that legendary, elegant power couple aura from their youth. Ha! Mom steps out and immediately wraps me in a loving hug, ignoring the staring crowd. She gracefully holds the car door for me as Ella and Ryan walk out, witnessing the whole scene. The classmates gawk as I climb in with a stunning older woman. The whispers start flying instantly. Ella's words from this morning echo in their heads. Who is she? The dirty speculation begins right now. So that's his secret. He's just a toy for some rich older woman, and we actually thought he was someone special. No wonder Ella won't lay a finger on him. I wouldn't either. At his age, that's just pathetic and disgusting. Ella overhears the gossip, but doesn't bother to correct a single soul. Ryan watches her, taking her silence as a grim confirmation. Jack's grades were always trash, but his wealth gnawed at Ryan, spending tens of thousands in one night without a second thought. It never sat right with him. He always felt beneath Jack, and that resentment burned like a slow fire in his chest. But now that Jack is just a funded pet for some sugar mommy, the playing field suddenly feels a lot more level. At least Ryan would never sell his dignity like that. He'll reach the top through his own blood, sweat, and tears. One day he'll have everything Jack has, but he'll have earned it. Later on the bus, Ella drops a sudden bombshell. I can't walk you home today, she says. Since tutoring Jack is over, she's scrambled to find a part-time job instead. Her father's gambling debts are a mountain, and he's always bled her dry. Now she's forced to work just to survive. Fine, I reply simply. My parents are taking me to buy a new phone before dragging me along for a family dinner. By the time we pull up to the restaurant, Sophia is already there, looking as elegant and composed as ever. She lives here with her uncle, a close friend of my father's. Tonight is the official introduction between our two families. Dad's been trying to make this happen for ages, but I always bailed. I was too blinded by my obsession with Ella. Today, however, I showed up willingly. Seeing me here, Dad is glowing with a sense of quiet, overjoyed relief. He thinks his son has finally grown up. Over dinner, he and Sophia's uncle fall into a cheerful, easygoing conversation. I take my seat beside Sophia and tell her about the bet that I need to jump up 100 ranks. When I finish, Sophia just gives a quiet nod. I can't read her expression at all. Do you think I was reckless? I worry the pressure might be too much. Sophia looks me in the eye. No. Do you believe you can do it? I've been following every single thing you've taught me, I say. Sophia meets my gaze firmly. Then leave the rest to me. And for the record, you're quite brilliant. Not slow like people say. She's clearly throwing shade at Ella's past comments. Ella used to call me slow all the time. Sophia never argued then, but she clearly remembered. I can't help but smile. That's a huge relief. Thanks for putting in all this work with me. She just shrugs. It's nothing at all. Suddenly I realize the room has gone silent. Both my father and Sophia's uncle are watching us closely. My face turns red. Dad, why are you staring? I ask. No reason. Carry on, he says, though inside he's marveling at how well we mesh. He was the one who arranged this betrothal, yet he feels like his own son is being stolen away by her. After the meal, the adults still have plenty to discuss, so Sophia and I decide to head out on our own. We don't go home yet, finding a cozy cafe nearby instead. I'm craving ice cream, so I head over to order. I bring the treats back and sit beside Sophia. We dive right back into our book's formulas swirling through my head. 10 kilometers. That run would half kill me if I lost this bet. Suddenly, the server brings our order to the table. I look up and my heart stops. The server is Ella. I stare at her, completely blindsided. What are you doing here? Ella shoots me a look of pure ice. I should ask you that. Did you stalk me here just to harass me? Despite my cold shoulder, Ella is convinced I'm still obsessed. She thinks this is just a tactic to make her cave in. To her, there's no way I'd show up at her new job by accident. How could such a coincidence even exist? You're overthinking it. It's just a coincidence, I snap. Ella glances at Sophia, then turns away without a second word. She has zero interest in wasting another moment on us acting like she's far above the entire situation. Seeing her walk off with that smug air of superiority is baffling. I turn and offer the ice cream to Sophia. She shakes her head, declining. Instead, she picks up my bag and walks out of the cafe right by my side. I had planned to stay longer, but running into Ella totally killed the mood. We decide to end the night early. Over the next 2 weeks, I study like a man possessed. Sophia comes over to the house daily to coach me. My progress is undeniable, but every time Ella catches me, she can't resist a dig. Jack, it's not too late to quit. Just don't come crying when the results are posted. I just frown and shove my earphones in. She's just a distraction. The monthly exam finally ends. I'm in a surprisingly great mood as I rush home, barely able to contain my excitement. The official results aren't out, but I know I crushed it. I find Sophia in the courtyard relaxing with Snowball. Snowball has been getting rounder and fluffier by the day. I scoop the cat up. You're here early today, Sophia. Sophia glances up with a knowing smile. I'm always early, but what about you? No school clubs keeping you busy? Ella and Ryan are the school's golden duo, always caught up in one prestigious activity or another. But Sophia is different, calm and unhurried. I have total freedom, she says. No one keeps tabs on me here. Not even student council, I ask. Sophia simply shakes her head, looking completely unbothered. I enter the odd competition, but rarely. They're boring and teachers worry I'll make it an unfair fight. It tends to discourage the other students, but I heard you still show up when Ella enters the arena. She mentioned you're always there and that you've snatched first place from her more than once. She absolutely loathes you. Sophia takes a graceful sip of her tea. Whenever Ella is competing, she makes a point to be there. I'm dying to know my score, so we go over the answers right there in the quiet courtyard. I nailed almost all of them. My mood soars. When results day arrives, the teacher gives the usual praise to Ella and Ryan. First and second place again, just as everyone expected. But then the teacher suddenly pauses. There's one more student I have to recognize, Jack. I bolt upright as Ella shoots me a mocking, sarcastic look. The teacher continues. Jack's performance this time around is nothing short of impressive. After being stuck at the bottom forever, he's made a massive leap into the top 200 of the entire grade. Keep this up and the top colleges are yours. The class is dead silent. Even Ella is frozen in shock. She expected me to climb maybe 100 spots, but the top 200. That wasn't even in her calculations. Honestly, I didn't dare hope for this either. But after suffering through my past life, I won't waste this one. I'm focused now, paying attention in ways I never thought possible. I hang on every word in class, then Sophia polishes my skills afterward. She's a natural-born teacher. Impossible problems become simple under her guidance. Hard work finally pays off. Are you sure, Teacher A? Jack's scores were trash before. How is this possible? I'm not mistaken, the teacher replies with a calm look. I used to be the headache dragging down the class average. He had no clue I was capable of this. That recognition feels incredible. I catch Ella watching me, her face a mask of pure disbelief. So how'd I do? You said I was too slow to learn. 10 kilometers, Ella, don't you dare forget it. She's reeling, unable to wrap her head around it. Is Sophia really that incredible of a tutor? After school, Ella has no choice but to start her 10-kilometer run. I stay behind just to enjoy the show. I watch from the sidelines, savoring the moment. Seeing her eat humble pie is a rush of pure satisfaction. It feels amazing. Ryan watches me from a distance, fuming at how cold and distant I've become. Bree scoffs and leans toward Ryan. Top 200, who cares? It's not like he's number one. What a show-off. Ella got first, and she's not this cocky. Even Ryan took second without acting like he owns the place. Ryan's eyes stay on Ella as she circles the track. A bet's a bet, he says flatly. She can handle it. So what if his grades improved? He still goes home to that woman. Bree spits. Ryan snaps. Stop the rumors. You're just too decent, Ryan. Bree pats his shoulder. By the time Ella finishes, the sky has turned pitch black. She walks back drenched in sweat, looking defeated. Happy now, she pants. I just nod. Good effort. Feel free to bet against me anytime. I walk away, feeling lighter than I have in a long, long time. As I leave Ella in the dust, a surge of joy hits me. I even find myself skipping a little. She still sees me as her pathetic, lovesick lapdog, but I'm too done to even glance back. She watches us. Is Jack actually going to end up with Sophia? They're a perfect match in every way. If he really does choose Sophia... Ella feels a sharp, unexpected pang, a stinging irritation she didn't see coming. It's like something that belonged to her was just stolen. Ella. Ryan notices her spacing out and speaks up. You look exhausted. Here, drink some water. Thank you, she says, always the perfect lady with him. It's strange, though, Ryan muses. Jack's scores were always terrible. For him to jump this much, you don't think he cheated, Bree interjects. That's exactly what I think. He definitely cheated just to humiliate Ella. How else could he explain this? She tutored him for years and nothing worked, Bree adds. Ryan sighs. You can't say that without proof. Bree warns me that if he seeks revenge, I'm on my own. Tomorrow she's reporting me to the teacher. I head home desperate to boast to Sophia about finally making Ella eat her words. I wanted to thank Sophia, but Auntie Chen says she's out. My excitement instantly fades into disappointment. Alone at home, I quickly swap my uniform for house clothes and dial Sophia's number. Sophia is gliding through her private pool. The housekeeper approaches. Miss Jack is calling. Sophia stays submerged. The mention of my name makes Sophia surface instantly. She glides toward the edge with grace. The housekeeper waits with the towel ready. Sophia dries off and picks up the phone. Her icy expression softens. Hello, Jack. Am I interrupting something? No, I was just finishing my swim. I explain I missed her today. My scores skyrocketed. I broke into the top 200 I-beam. Then I mention Ella's 10-kilometer run. Watching her pride crumble was the ultimate satisfaction. Sophia settles into a chair, listening to my excited rambling. Eventually I ask, Are you still there? Of course. Congratulations, Jack. I have plenty of time for you since you tutor me daily. You've worked hard. Rest for 2 days. I'll study alone and text if I need help. Deal. I hesitate. You sound different. Is everything okay? Do you need me for anything? She pauses, surprised. We're partners, right? You've done so much for me already. I want to repay her. Without her guidance, these grades would be an impossible dream. I can't just keep taking without giving back, especially since she wants for nothing material. At the word partners, a rare smile touches Sophia's lips. Fine, Jack. I'll let you know. The next morning, the atmosphere at school is suffocating. The teacher walks in looking absolutely grim. The air crackles with her fury. Her eyes pierce through the room and lock onto mine. Jack, stand up. I rise, heart-hammering in confusion. Someone reported you for cheating on the monthly exams, she declares. She demands an explanation. As the word cheating echoes, I scan the room for the culprit. Every gaze is a dagger. Bree sits by Ryan, her face twisted into a smug, victorious sneer. Your past scores were trash. This sudden improvement is simply impossible to believe, the teacher sneers. To settle this, you'll retake the exam with new questions. Any problems? A retake. This is a trap. Bree can't hide her glee. She stands up. I knew it. We all saw you cheat. If you're innocent, why look so scared? Just take it again. She looks at me like a cornered rat. I almost laugh at the absurdity. You're accusing me based on absolutely zero evidence. The burden of proof is on you, Bree. Without evidence, this is nothing but pathetic slander. If every jealous student reported me, I'd be retaking tests daily. Should I just quit school entirely? Ella looks at me stunned. I was always the weak link, the pushover who never fought back. I used to swallow my pride, but now my voice is cold and sharp as a blade. Ella stares, wondering if this is the same boy. To her, I look like a completely different person. Taken aback by my logic, the teacher softens. It's natural for people to have suspicions, Jack. This retake is your chance to silence the whispers forever. Don't you want to clear your name? She's stubborn. It's clear she thinks I'm a fraud. I just offer a calm, chilling smile. I'll retake it, teacher. But being dragged through the mud without proof is completely ridiculous. We're supposed to be classmates. Why is Bree so obsessed with tearing me down like this? If I score higher, she'll just find a new lie. If she reports me without proof, she needs consequences. If I pass, Bree should be expelled for her lies. Expelled. The teacher paled. That escalation was far beyond what anyone in the room expected. The teacher favors Bree's grades, but these vicious rumors are destroying my reputation and future. If this pressure breaks me and I do something tragic, isn't that a far bigger disaster? The room goes ice cold at my words. I glare at Bree. What's wrong, scared to bet? You are so sure I cheated. Prove it or pay the price. Bree takes the bait instantly. Fuming, she snaps at the teacher. I'll stake my entire future on this. Everyone knows Jack's grades are absolute trash. She's certain I'm a fraud. My refusal to retake the test without a fight just fuels Bree's suspicions even further. She glares at the teacher. If Jack is proven to be a cheater, he must be expelled immediately. I refuse to attend the same school as a loser like him. Do we have a deal? I agree before the teacher can blink. Jack office. After class, she commands, then storms out of the room. Bree grins, craving the drama. Ella just stares, horrified that I'd gamble my entire school career on a single whim. Her voice drops to a whisper. Jack, are you insane? If they find any proof, you're finished here forever. The humiliation isn't worth it. Just apologize. One stupid monthly exam isn't worth ruining your life over. If you're sincere, I'll even help you out. Besides, you already proved a point by outrunning me. I can let that 10-kilometer run go. She plays the saint, but I see right through her fake concern. She's been acting like a distant ice queen lately. Now she wants to play the role of the worried childhood friend. I smirk. You think I'm a cheater too, don't you? That's why you're putting on this pathetic little performance. Instead of preaching to me, go talk to Bree. She's your boyfriend's little shadow, isn't she? Bree is just the loud one, but Ryan is the true snake. He hides behind that nice guy mask perfectly. I won't ignore his hand in this. I know Ryan's true dark nature from my past life. I saw it all. Whenever Ella and I fought, he was always there taking cheap shots from the shadows. Ella meant well, but as I throw her kindness back at her, her gaze turns sharp and icy cold. I'm doing this for your own good, she snaps. For me? I ask, amused. What's the matter, Ella? Is waitressing too hard? Want to crawl back and live off my money again? At that, her face darkens completely. She stays silent, jaw clenched tight. Her part-time job is clearly becoming a total living nightmare. Between school and student council, she's drowning. She gets home late, exhausted for a paycheck that barely covers the basics. I pampered her into a life she can't afford. Now the fall from luxury to rock bottom is truly brutal. She thought I was just some rich kid having a tantrum, assuming I'd come crawling back in a few days. But things have changed. I've stopped chasing her. The old pathetic obsession is officially dead. Before I'd always beg for her. Now I just smile as she stands there speechless and totally defeated. Waiting for me to throw a fit and beg for forgiveness, I get it. Poverty is a tough pill to swallow. I used to throw money around too, but being cast out with nothing left scars that can never truly heal. If you're born poor, it's fine, but losing a life of comfort, that's a special agonizing kind of hell. In my past life, I'd lie awake every night desperately dreaming that she would come back to me. I dreamed she'd realize I was innocent and take me back. I waited for a miracle that never arrived. I waited until my very last breath, but she never showed up, not even once. I trusted her, but she married another man while framing me for everything. She's suffering now and she deserves it. I supported her for so long. I don't need your pity. Ella spits, her lips trembling with suppressed rage. If you expect comfort, you're delusional. If you want me back, you'd better get on your knees and beg. Maybe then I'll toss you some spare change. I smile, but inside my heart is absolute ice. I'll never actually forgive her, but seeing the proud Ella groveling, that's a sight I won't miss. Her pride was always her shield. She destroyed me once. Now it's my turn to break her completely. I'll give her just enough hope to prolong her agony. Not a chance, Ella says, her voice cold. She turns away, refusing to look at me. I'm in no rush. After class, I head to the office. The dean and several top teachers are waiting. The atmosphere is thick with suspicion and heavy judgment. They hand me a fresh exam. When the grading is finished, the results are undeniable. My score is legendary. Total proof of my innocence. The teacher's eyes widen in shock. You actually did it. No cheating involved. But your old grades were failing. Why now? I shrug. I was immature before. Now I'm actually trying. A new tutor and a little focus can work wonders. The truth is, I'm finally done playing games. Only those who've lost everything know that school is the one place where hard work actually gets rewarded. Cross those gates and reality hits like a freight train. The world is absolutely ruthless. I head back to class. The teacher and the dean arrive together to deliver the final verdict. Once my innocence is confirmed, Bree's face drains of color. She's terrified. How did I pull this off? The teacher's gaze is pure ice. This class's toxic behavior has finally crossed a major line. You should be supporting each other. Attacking someone for their hard-earned growth is the ultimate betrayal. Let this be a warning to everyone. I lock eyes with Bree. You promised to quit if I was innocent. You're not backing out now, are you? Bree fumbles for words. Typical. Some people's promises are worth nothing. Never make a bet you can't handle. Suddenly, Ryan jumps in, playing the hero to save his struggling friend. We're all a team here, Jack. Don't be so heartless. Bree was only acting in your best interest. She was just worried about your path. She meant no harm. The class immediately follows Ryan's lead. Expulsion is way too overkill. I smirk at their faces, always so bold when it's not their neck on the line. They hang on his every word. Whatever Ryan says is law. I turn to face the mastermind directly. Since you're such a saint, why not take the fall for her? You withdraw in her place. Ryan's jaw sets and suddenly his eyes glass over with fake tears. Now I'm the villain. The class snaps. Bree started it, not Ryan. Why drag him into this? He was the only one on your side. He treats everyone fairly. The mob mentality kicks in. I smile. Fair. That's the joke of the century. If I was the one being kicked out, would you have lifted a finger? Ryan nods. Of course I would. I always tell everyone to be kinder to you. His fake act makes me sick. I look at Bree. Stay if you want, but your honor is trashed. New deal, run 20 kilometers instead. Bree's eyes widen in terror. Is he trying to kill her? She's not an athlete. Either finish the run or pack your bags now. I smirk and take my seat. Honestly, I couldn't care less if she stays or rots. But actions need consequences or I'm just a target. She has to pay. Fine, I'll run, Bree barks. Every single lap you'll scream your apology. Tell the whole school you lied about me cheating. Put your shame on full display. Isn't that too much? You're crushing her pride in front of everyone. After what she tried to do to me. Trust me, this is an act of pure mercy. Class ends and Bree starts her 20-kilometer hell to save her skin. She's trapped. I'm not moving. I perch on the stairs, tracking every grueling lap. No mercy today. She lacks Ella's raw endurance. Her pace crawls and screaming that apology is draining her soul. She's one step away from hitting the dirt. Ryan approaches me. Jack, she's learned her lesson. Just stop. She isn't strong like Ella. This run could finish her. Oh, so if your rumors had destroyed my life, that would be my problem. But you're tough, Ryan counters. You're not the type to let words get to you. I glare at him. The sunset casts a dark shadow over his face, hiding his true, twisted intentions. That smug aura of superiority. I remember his final call before my death. He just wanted to gloat. I don't know if he helped Ella, but he saw it all coming. He knew every single detail. They drove me to my grave, and now he's lecturing me. The audacity of this guy is staggering. How long will you wear that harmless, nice guy mask? You think I'm just another sheep following you? I won't bow to you. If you're so worried, run in her place. Otherwise, shut your mouth. Ella rushes to his side. Enough, Jack, Ryan's just looking out for you. Any disaster is on your head. Playing damsel to his hero, Ryan notices her distress and drops his own problems to comfort her. He squares up. Jack, you're just venting your hate on my friends because you're jealous of me. Is this over, Ella? If you think I stole her, take her back. Ryan, Ella snaps. Don't even joke about that. I feel nothing for him. Ella desperately clings to Ryan's ego. A match made in heaven while I'm the bitter villain. I laugh. Keep her. I don't deal in recycling. Before she can respond, I cut her off. Everyone saw Bree strike first. This isn't bullying, it's justice. This is an act of charity. If she hates running, the exit is right there. I'm not stopping her. I used to play the hero. Clean, kind, and harmless. And where did that get me? Nowhere but the bottom. Now I'm the one holding the blade. I live for myself. Trash can think whatever it wants about me. Ella's gaze shifts to Ryan. He's a lost cause. If Bree breaks, he'll be the first to pay the price. They turn to leave. After 10 kilometers, Bree's body finally shatters. She hits the dirt completely unconscious. They scramble to the hospital. I follow. Ella's eyes gleam with twisted joy. Are you satisfied now? Beyond satisfied. I smirk, pulling out my phone to dial the hospital director's personal line immediately. I hire elite specialists and pay every cent myself. Ella and Ryan wanted to frame me. I just bought their silence. Their scheme is dead. Ryan hovers over Bree as she starts to wake. Are you all right? Talk to me. Bree's eyes flutter open. Ryan. He gently pats her shoulder. How are you feeling? Does it still hurt? Everything hurts, she whimpers, milking the drama. I just lean against the wall, casually sipping a carton of yogurt. The specialist cleared you. You're just pathetic. Weak stamina. The doctor actually suggests you get more exercise. Finish your remaining 10 kilometers tomorrow. Bree freezes. She literally collapsed, and he's still counting the miles. Are you a monster trying to kill me? I just shrug. Relax. You won't die on my watch. If you faint, the city's best doctors are right here. Bree's face burns with rage. I just arch an eyebrow. My voice is ice. Problem. If you're too weak, you can always just drop out of this school entirely. Don't push me. I know your parents work at Shunga Group. Bree's blood runs cold. He knows everything. You stalked me. So, she grits her teeth. I'll run tomorrow. Good. Your bill's already settled. But remember, until those 10 kilometers are done, even if you die, I'll pay the doctors to revive you. I walk out. Ella watches me leave, her brow furrowing at the absolute coldness radiating from my eyes. Bree recovers quickly. After an IV and some rest, they take her home. But I'm already moving. At home, I snap photos of the receipt and medical report. I blast them both into the class group chat. I won't give these snakes any ammunition. I control the narrative. Only then do I finally close my eyes. Next day, Bree finishes her run like a loyal soldier. She wouldn't dare act up in front of me now. Whatever hate she's harboring, she swallows it. No more insults. No more pointing fingers at my face. The atmosphere at school shifts. Every gaze is laced with caution. They've seen what happens to my enemies. He's rich and ruthless. Cross him and he'll pay for your funeral. Or your expensive hospital stay. The insults and grade-shaming stop. But the shadows still whisper. They think I'm some rich older woman's toy. An anonymous post hits the forum. Photos included. Cowards hiding behind a screen waiting to strike. The comments are exploding. They don't have the guts to face me. The internet is their only shield. Monday afternoon. I'm leaving school when I spot two beauties at the gate. Stunning enough to stop traffic. Those uniforms. Yangchuan High. Sophia wears that same style. I'd recognize it anywhere. Nearby, guys are drooling. Look at them. That's Lily from the elite tennis team. Back then, I only had eyes for Ella. Everyone else was just background noise to me. I'd heard Lily's name but never really saw her. Up close, she's got a body made for sin. But compared to Sophia, she's a mere pebble. I must have been insane in my past life to reject her. Looking at Sophia now, her beauty is overwhelming. Put her next to anyone, and they simply fade away. My driver pulls up. I'm heading out when Lily suddenly blocks my path with a smirk. You're Jack, right? She eyes me with predatory curiosity. I offer a flat stare. Who are you? Her lips curl. The high school boy with the wealthy sugar mommy. You're famous on our forums lately. The rumors traveled fast, but they also say I'm a monster. The story of Bree, it's become a legend. It's been retold in bloody detail, still having someone say it to my face. That's actually interesting. This is almost amusing. I'm not even annoyed. I just ask her calmly, Lily, is it? She flinches, caught off guard. You know me. She recovers instantly. I heard you were Ella's little pet. You're not interested in me, are you? I'm not the type to play second fiddle to anyone. She gasps dramatically, like my words were an assault. I look at her, truly amused. Is your family too poor for mirrors? If you're that broke, I'll just buy you a mirror. Take a long look. Do you really think you're my type? I shoulder my bag and leave Lily fuming with a shattered ego. Who does he think he is? I don't even blink. As I pull away, a chilling smile spreads across Lily's face. Jack, huh? You've got some nerve calling me ugly. I won't forget this insult. Back home, Sophia has finally reappeared. She's been missing for days, but now she's here. Snowball loses it, barking with pure joy at her return. Finally finished with your mysterious business, I ask her. Sophia stands and wow, she's stunning. I honestly thought you'd quit because tutoring me was such a massive drag. I've checked out other tutors lately, but honestly, none of them can break things down as clearly as you do. Don't worry, Sophia says. Life just got a bit chaotic. You don't owe me an explanation. I'm just glad you're here. If you have personal matters to handle, go ahead and take care of them without worrying about me. In my past life, despite the hell I put her through, she still looked out for me until the very end. Compared to my past sins, her being busy is nothing. Sophia nods. Let's study, I say, and for once I mean it. We head to the study together. I've prepped a mountain of questions to tackle while I finish my assignments. Sophia sits by my side, watching me closely. She's definitely seen the rumors swirling about me online. She was worried I was falling apart, but one look at me tells her I'm doing just fine. Her prepared words of concern remain unsaid. Suddenly, Sophia's phone buzzes. She flips it over to check the screen. It's a text from Lily. Sophia, you're definitely coming to the tennis match this Thursday, right? Lily's anxious that Sophia might flake out on a whim. Sophia simply types back a single firm word. Yeah. After our session, Sophia mentions she'll be at my school this week. I look up totally stunned. The tennis match is at Minga's courts. I'll be there to cheer for you then, I say. She nods softly. She remembers the old me, always pathetically chasing after Ella with eyes for absolutely no one else. She probably thought she never once crossed my mind, but now I'm the one promising to cheer for her. A faint smile touches Sophia's lips. It's Thursday afternoon, and the entire school is already buzzing with excitement. Yang Chuan's girls' team is legendary. The crowd whispers, "Look, Lily actually showed up at our school." She's gorgeous, but she's no match for our campus queen. Ella is the total package of beauty and brains. Ella's got elite grades, a killer serve, and model looks. Naturally, she's swimming in constant admirers. Ryan's been fuming lately. My comment about Ella's father being a gambling addict is eating him alive. He knows that type of person. Meanwhile, I've got my nose in a book tuning out the noise. Once I'd be the first one leading the cheers for Ella. Now the memory just seems pathetic and ridiculous. With rumors swirling about me and an older woman, everyone's backing Ella. I'm just an outcast now. Then someone mentions Sophia. Will she show she's the only one who consistently beats Ella's top exam scores? Her name alone commands respect. But will she actually show up? Probably not. Sophia is a ghost at these events. Just hearing her name makes Ella's face cloud over with pure jealousy. Ella shifts uneasily, her gaze drifting toward me. My sudden focus on my books is seriously rattling her. Is he really ignoring me? She turns and snaps. Is all that studying actually getting you anywhere? Jack. I look up, genuinely shocked she's even speaking to me. Of course it is, I reply calmly. I'm not a natural genius like you. I actually have to work. Does my progress bother you that much? Why would it? She scoffs. I shrug. Well, I'm already rich and decent looking. That's a start. If I beat your grades too, what do you have left? Ella laughs. Jack, you barely hit the top 200. The top is a different world. You'll probably come crashing back down to the bottom next time. You think I'm scared of you? To her, him reaching the top 200 was just a total fluke. Beating her impossible. Sophia is a genius, but Jack, he's nowhere near that level of talent. Jack can try all he wants, but he'll never close the gap of years of failure and stagnation. I shrug. Who knows the future? I don't have time for this. Ella snaps, standing up to leave. I have a match to win. As she leaves, Ryan glares, having heard every single word between us. His fists clench. He thinks I'm some kept man still trying to crawl back to Ella's side. Doesn't that make him sick? Yet he masks his disgust with a gracious smile and approaches. Jack, come cheer for Ella with us. Care to join? Ever since I ghosted Ella, those expensive gifts Ryan used to leech off me have completely vanished as well. Ryan knows he needs to keep me in their circle. He literally can't afford to let his golden goose fly away forever. As long as I'm chasing Ella, I'm the one paying their bills. Without my cash, Ella is stuck grinding through dead-end part-time jobs. She can't even play chauffeur for him every single day like she used to in the past. The fall from grace is massive compared to when I supported her. Besides, Ella hates those rumors about me and that older woman. Ryan thinks he's safe even if I still want Ella. But the very second he tries to make his pitch, I shut it down. Not interested. Ryan stares at me baffled. Why not Ella actually says some really great things about you, man? Look, we were all friends once. No need for this tension. I look at him, remembering the tragic end of my previous life. I remember surrendering my entire family legacy to Ella, just hoping she'd marry me. Back then, Ryan was playing this exact same game. He sang her praises every single day, acting so selfless. He never once feared I'd actually steal her from him. I used to think Ryan was a genuinely decent guy. Later, I realized his lack of jealousy wasn't out of kindness at all. He knew Ella would never love me. Keeping me close meant Ella got my money and he got to share the spoils. Hearing Ryan play peacemaker for Ella now, I don't believe a single damn word coming out of his mouth. I have actual standards for who I call a friend. Ryan freezes. The others immediately jump in to defend his wounded pride. Why bother with him if he's a jerk? Let him stay. They leave to cheer for Ella while I head to the gym. Ella had already swapped her school uniform for some sleek, form-fitting athletic gear. She acts all sweet and soft for Ryan, but her athletic figure is undeniable. She's always had a passion for sports. Ryan's cheeks flush red at the sight of her, but the moment I enter, Ella's gaze locks onto mine. Thought you weren't coming. Ryan follows her gaze and spots me. Jack. I ignore their lovey-dovey act and head straight for the bleachers to find a seat. After searching, I snag a front row seat, making sure to keep plenty of distance from Ryan and his toxic crew. I've just sat down when Lily, that girl from the other day, pops up right in front of me instead of Sophia. Lily confronts me directly. Jack, about what you said the other day. Don't you think you owe me an apology? I let out a cold laugh. Are you sure you didn't start it? If she hadn't called me a kept man, I never would have clapped back like that. Lily looks at me genuinely confused. Wait, how exactly did I even provoke you? Is calling someone a sugar baby polite? Who else was I supposed to tell off? Lily just shrugs her shoulders. Everyone's saying it. Oh, so if everyone said you liked girls, would that make it true? Lily snaps. Who said that? She actually fell for it. I burst out laughing while Lily stares at me, refusing to drop the subject. You asked my name last time. Were you thinking of keeping me? I'm speechless. Clearly she still hasn't looked in a mirror lately. Lily tries another angle. Be honest. Between me and Ella, who do you think is actually prettier? Ella is the campus queen, but Lily thinks she can compete. I smile. Wait, are you into her? She cuts me off instantly. I mean, do I have a shot? You liked her so much, why not give me a try instead? She flips her hair dramatically and winks at me. A guy nearby literally gasps. Wow, she's absolutely gorgeous. That was the most shameless pickup attempt I've ever seen. I turn away just as a shriek echoes through the entire gym. Sophia has finally arrived. Every head that was turned toward Lily instantly snaps toward the entrance. All eyes are now on Sophia. No one expected her to actually show up today. The second Lily sees Sophia, she ditches our conversation and rushes over. Sophia. I can't help but smile as I wave to her. Sophia notices me, her expression remaining as calm as ever. Lily stands beside Sophia, follows her line of sight, and catches me waving with genuine unbridled enthusiasm. She smirks. Oh, so he's into Sophia too bad. Sophia has never cared about any guy in her entire life. She won't even give him a second look. He's in for heartbreak. As they warm up, all eyes remain glued to Sophia. Ella doesn't miss the look on my face. The moment Sophia entered, I became a total simp in her eyes. Ella scoffs with pure contempt. Ryan watches me, wondering if I'm falling for Sophia. Honestly, the moment she walked in, Ryan felt that magnetic pull too, but he knows for a fact that a girl like Sophia is completely out of his league. She's not just perfect in every way. Her family background is incredibly powerful and rock solid. Plus, rumors say she isn't even into guys. Unlike with Ella, Ryan won't waste time pining for someone totally unattainable. Guess I lack self-awareness. A guy like me, rumored to be a kept man aiming for the moon. Sophia is in a different league. Her grades, background, and wealth, they completely eclipse mine. If I were still chasing Ella, Ryan might get it. But Sophia, he's baffled. Ella stays silent while I warm up. She assumed I came for her. Seeing me here for Sophia instead has Ella absolutely seething inside. She used to think my absence would be a relief. Back then I clung to her like a shadow she couldn't shake. Now that I've let go, she's unexpectedly rattled. After all, she's always viewed Sophia as her ultimate rival. During her time living at my family's house, she picked up on the secret. My father was already arranging a marriage for me. The girl Sophia. Back then, Ella just shrugged it off. She thought Sophia's fiancé was her loyal dog. He didn't even acknowledge Sophia's existence. That thought used to thrill her. After everything she endured, it felt like her one petty victory. But now I've walked away. My eyes are fixed on Sophia, and Ella can't hide her crushing discomfort. Bree stands by Ryan watching me join the stands. I pass out water to the guys nearby. Some of them used to talk trash behind my back. Different classes, different worlds, that's just how it goes. But spending real time with me changes things. They realize I'm not half bad and take the water. Their stony expressions soften. Bree whispers to Ryan, "Is he trying to buy friends?" Ryan just shrugs. "He's just showing off for Sophia," Ryan says. Bree is stunned. "He's actually going after her. Is he insane?" "Sophia, as his girlfriend." "Please? Who would want a guy with his reputation after all that drama?" I've never seen someone flaunt their delusion so openly. "Look, Lily's talking to him. Is he just hitting on everyone?" Ryan sighs. "He has the resources. He didn't come here to study. Honestly, he's just kind of pitiful. If his parents actually raised him, things might be different." Bree scoffs. "Pitiful, you're way too kind, Ryan. You always make excuses for people." Bree only mocks me in the shadows now. She won't say a word to my face. The girls' tennis match kicks off. I watch intently. From the first serve, this match is straight up brutal. Lily and Ella both catch yellow cards within minutes. The crowd is shocked. Matches never start this heated. Ella has one target in her sight, Sophia. She's desperate to outplay her and win back my gaze. She doesn't have to love me, but I'm not allowed to stop loving her. She must prove she's the worthy one. But Lily is a wild card charging straight at her. For Sophia, this match feels like a total breeze. She's barely even trying. Young Chuan's team is legendary, but Sophia is in a divine league of her own. After a few elite shots, she starts coasting. I sit back quietly, mesmerized by her grace. Her aura is on another level. Ella fights for an opening that doesn't exist, drowning in the pressure. Meanwhile, Sophia looks like she's just having fun. At the half, the players rest right in front of me. Sophia eyes Lily. "You're going hard today." She noticed Lily targeting Ella. Lily huffs, "Some guy called me ugly." Lily adds, "I'm putting on a show so he knows my power." Sophia just files that away in silence. Lily finishes her water and spins around. Suddenly, she spots me sitting right there in the stands. She grins and yells, "How's that for badass? I just absolutely demolished your little girl, Ella." Sophia's gaze shifts the second those words land. Suddenly, the air around Lily turns freezing cold. I've noticed Sophia doesn't show me much enthusiasm in public. Even now, while Lily focuses on me, Sophia just sits there. She's always been the reserved, icy type. She hates being the center of attention. But honestly, the more she holds back, the more addicted I become. I smile and shout, "Sophia, you were incredible." Lily hears this and snorts, leaning toward her friend. "My man is just trying to annoy me. We had a spat and he's still holding a grudge." Sophia just mutters, "Is that so? She won't look at me, but if you look closely." Her ears have turned a brilliant shade of red. In the second half, Sophia plays with terrifying focus. While the first half was a back-and-forth struggle, now Ella can't even return a single serve. The match ends in a total landslide. Manhwa is crushed, and Ella is the one who falls the hardest. For years, people compared the two stars, but today it's clear they aren't even on the same level. This match settles it once and for all. In every way that matters, Ella can't even touch Sophia's level. Each time Sophia scores, I lose my mind. I can barely stay seated. Honestly, I never gave her a second thought before. I had zero clue what she was truly capable of. Looking back now, I really was blind to her greatness. Ryan and Bree rallied everyone to cheer for Ella, but now they sit in stony silence. My section is packed with Sophia's fans. Everyone around me is going wild, but me, I'm the most hyped of all my eyes, totally locked onto Sophia. I'm basically squealing under my breath. Bree mutters, "Does he even remember which school he actually goes to?" Thank God Sophia wouldn't look at him twice. Otherwise, seeing them together would be physically disgusting. The words barely leave her mouth when Sophia leaves the court and walks straight to the stands, stopping right in front of me. I stare, mesmerized. "You were amazing." Sophia simply says, "Water." Her voice is like a soft, cooling breeze. I never imagined one person could be this perfect and have a voice like that to top it all off. The guy closest to her quickly offers a bottle, but Sophia ignores him. Her eyes are fixed only on me. I pick up a bottle and hold it out. "You really were incredible," I say, my voice coming out soft. Those simple words make the corner of her mouth lift. Under my gaze, she tips the bottle back and drinks. Lily, who was ready to swoop in and show off, watches with wide eyes. What on earth just happened? Lily worked all day to impress him, but Sophia just stole the spotlight. Plus, Sophia never shows interest in guys. She always brings her own water to matches. She never even bothers interacting with the male students. She keeps everyone at a distance. But looking at them now, could Sophia actually have feelings for him? The thought hits Lily like a lightning bolt. Sophia finishes her drink. "I'm changing. Let's head home together after school." I nod. "Sure." Sophia turns to leave while Lily stands there, jaw dropped. "Sophia, you actually know him." "I'm pursuing him," she says. "Everyone claims I'm a kept man, but now Sophia admits she's the one chasing me. Pursuing, since when does a girl as elite as Sophia ever need to actually pursue anyone? Normally, she just gives a slight nod and people fall over themselves for her. Noticing Lily's stare, Sophia asks, "What? Got a problem with that?" Lily doesn't dare say a word. She just never imagined I was Sophia's target. Lily had been flirting with me all day, only to realize she was hitting on Sophia's personal property. Recalling what she said earlier, Lily wants to slap herself. She scrambles to apologize. "I swear I didn't know. If I had known, I never would have acted like that toward him. Especially not toward your guy." Sophia stays perfectly composed. "It's fine. He wasn't into you anyway." Lily thinks, wow, was that really necessary? Seeing Sophia is dead serious, Lily asks, "So where exactly do things stand between you two?" Sophia answers, "He hasn't fallen for me yet." She's my tutor, but Sophia suspects I haven't truly given her my heart. I once loved Ella. Maybe I'm just using Sophia to spite her, but she's fine being useful to me. Just being by my side is more than enough to make her happy for now. Lily processes this and glances at me in the stands. I'm just standing there watching. All that cheering. Lily thought I was just a simp. Turns out Sophia is the one chasing me. We're both totally calm. Everyone else is losing their minds over what they heard. The school group chat is absolutely blowing up. Does Sophia really like Jack? Not long ago, I was just Ella's errand boy. She treated me like a servant. Day after day. And now the girl who completely outclasses Ella has tied herself to me. Ella emerges from the locker room looking miserable. She didn't just lose the match, she was humiliated. Sophia crushed her. Ryan and Bree follow behind, speechless and looking just as defeated. Just a moment ago, they were certain a girl like Sophia would never be interested in me. Then they watched her walk straight to me. Bree hisses, "Is Sophia blind? How could she want him? Does she even know who Jack is?" Ryan's face is stone. He thought Ella would always choose him. But seeing Sophia connect with me today is finally pushing him over the edge. Why is someone like me now within Sophia's reach? They wonder if things would change if they'd cheered for her. I walk out of the gym as the guys who were sitting near me all look over. "Jack, do you actually know Sophia?" I give a casual nod. "Are you two together?" They saw it all. The way Sophia gazed at me was impossible to mistake. While others whispered in confusion, I kept it simple. We're just officially engaged. I'm kind to her, sure, but that's only because of the nightmare I survived before. Honestly, I have no clue what she truly thinks of me. After the trauma Ella put me through, I refuse to let myself become anyone's mindless puppet ever again. Noting their prying eyes, I calmly add, "Our families have ties. That is all." They continue to stare, searching for a deeper secret. So my family actually has serious money. The rumors about me being some older woman's pet vanished, leaving them looking completely ashamed. Apparently some post claimed I was being picked up. I just laugh, let them invent whatever fantasies they want. None of it stings. It's actually just pathetic and funny. As if a guy like me would ever need a handout. I wave off the guys from other classes and head back. As I step inside, every eye in the room locks onto me. I take my seat in total silence. The girl in front spins around, her voice dripping with pure, passive-aggressive venom. "We lost the match, yet you look thrilled," she sneers. "Since she's on Ella's team, she's clearly looking for a target." "You lost, I didn't." I smile back. Why wouldn't I be happy when Sophia finally noticed me? She looks stunned. I let out a soft, mocking chuckle. Upset she ignored you, that shuts her up instantly as she turns away fuming. Soon after, Ella storms back in with Ryan and Bry. She collapses into her seat and I give her a cold, passing glance. I can feel it, Ella's rage is hitting a boiling point. She always acts out like this whenever Sophia bests her. I used to comfort her, sharing her bitterness. Now it's just comedy. She catches my smirk and her eyes turn deathly cold. Why the look, I ask. If your skills weren't enough, don't blame me. Ella's glare could cut through stone. She tasted defeat, and instead of offering comfort, I'm sitting here mocking her. It's getting right under her skin. In the past, I'd buy her countless gifts to fix her mood, desperately promising her she was better than Sophia in every way. Now I'm the one pouring salt on the wound. The bell rings and I'm out the door before she can even speak. Seeing me bolt, Ella scrambles to her feet. She grabs her things and chases after me, leaving Ryan far behind. I've barely reached the stairs when she clamps onto my arm. "What now, Ella?" I ask. Her eyes are rimmed with a deep red. I stop in my tracks. She's barely holding it together. "Are you really choosing Sophia?" The question is a desperate plea. She never gave a damn about my life before today. What is going on in that head of hers? She's looking at me as if I'm the one who betrayed her. I try to pry her hand away, but her grip is ironclad. A hollow laugh escapes me. "Wasn't I the one you called suffocating? You said every second with me was a nightmare." Those were her exact soul-crushing words. I didn't realize how much she loathed me until the very end. All the love I poured into her only made her sick. Turns out giving everything you have only makes you worthless to them. To her, I was just a burden. Ella freezes, stammering that she never said those things. She truly has no memory. I know this version of Ella hasn't said them yet, but I also know the poison has always been in her heart. I let out a chilling laugh. "But you always hated me, didn't you? If not, why were you always clinging to Ryan? Why did you give him things that belonged to me? I treated you like a queen, yet you treated me like a slave." As I speak, I force a few tears to fall. The truth is, I feel absolutely nothing for her anymore. After the hell I've been through, only embers of hatred remain. I've already lived through this tragedy once. There is zero chance I could ever love her again. But the Jack of my past spent his entire life begging for her heart. And in the end, his loyalty was rewarded with a miserable, lonely fate. Every time I remember, an agonizing, hollow sadness floods my soul. That overwhelming grief rises up before I can even fight it. If I hadn't been granted this second chance, the version of me she abandoned would still be rotting in that room. The thought of how pitiful he was makes my eyes sting. Ella stands paralyzed, staring at my tear-filled eyes. She only came because she couldn't stand me being with Sophia. But now she sees a raw pain she never knew existed. Real soul-deep agony. She chose Ryan / so why does my grief make her feel like she's committed a sin? "Did I really hurt you that much?" She whispers quietly. She looks lost, unable to find the right words. Even now, she's just making excuses to avoid her feelings. I reach up and roughly wipe my tears away. "I know you never wanted anything to do with me. You and Ryan are the perfect match, right? So whether I'm with Sophia or Lily, stay out of my business." She opens her mouth, desperate to respond. My reaction has sparked a guilt she never expected to feel. But as we face off, Ryan and Bree finally appear. Ryan looms at the top of the stairs, eyes widening as he catches me and Ella together. From his angle, we look way too close, and Ella's still clutching my hand like a lifeline. She drops it the second she spots him. I can't help but smirk at her instant panic. She's rattled. Her favorite ATM just walked away, and the realization is clearly starting to sting. But Ryan's her true prize. I can't wait to watch their perfect little world crash and burn. "Don't come find me," I whisper. We wouldn't want Ryan getting the wrong idea right. I walk away, my fake tears vanishing before I even hit the bottom of the staircase. Why would I waste a single real tear on a cold-hearted snake like her? That little show, pure entertainment. She destroyed me in my past life, now it's my turn to play. I won't let her go easily. I'll feed her just enough hope to keep her suffering. Ryan heads down, his eyes scanning Ella with a heavy layer of suspicion. "What happened? Was he crying?" Ryan asks. Ella just brushes him off, looking totally annoyed. She's spiraling. My performance convinced her of one thing: I definitely still care about her. She thinks her coldness drove me to Sophia. A perfect, beautiful lie for her to swallow. I step outside, and there she is, Sophia, waiting for me like a scene from a movie. She swapped her sports gear for our school uniform, standing there patiently with Lily. Lily nudges her the moment I appear. "Look, your man is finally here." Sophia turns, and suddenly every other student in the crowded courtyard just seems to fade away. She looks breathtaking. Beside her, even a pretty girl like Lily looks totally average. That simple, clean uniform looks like high fashion when she's the one wearing it. She takes my bag without a word. It's a small gesture, but her care is unmistakable. This isn't one-sided. We're a team, and Sophia couldn't care less about the school gossip. "Let's go eat," she says. Ella, who I've already forgotten that girl even exists. Lily beams at me, but I give her the cold shoulder. She immediately senses the danger. I was wrong. Please don't hate me. She's practically begging for my forgiveness now. I don't care about her excuses. "Sophia, are you two actually friends or what?" My voice is pure ice. Sophia doesn't even hesitate before giving a firm no. Lily panics immediately. "Hey, I'm sorry, I'll make it up to you, I swear." "You called me a gold digger to my face. I don't forget insults like that, Lily." She promises to find whoever started the rumors, but we're already moving toward the car. Sophia's luxury ride pulls up, and she completely ignores Lily's desperate, high-pitched pleas. "Get in," Sophia says. Lily watches us from the curb, looking totally defeated and small. She waves goodbye, trying to play it off as she wishes us a happy life. Sophia sighs and rolls up the window. "Just ignore her. She's a lot to handle." She leans over to buckle my seatbelt for me. "We just play tennis together sometimes." Thinking of her on the court makes my heart race. "Sophia, you were incredible out there. You crushed them. You should have seen Ella's face. It was absolutely priceless." Sophia just shrugs it off. "She wasn't a challenge. I only played because of her." Her bluntness is actually hilarious. I didn't know she could be this savage when she wanted. But honestly, everything she said was facts. She's on a whole different level from the rest. "You're perfect," I admit. "Beautiful, smart, and a total beast on the tennis court. Every guy there was obsessed with you." She just blinks. "I didn't even notice them." I smile. "I know, but people talk. Aren't you worried about the rumors at all?" Sophia looks me dead in the eye. "What could they possibly say that matters?" "They say I'm your pet. My reputation is trash. Doesn't that bother you even a little?" "None of that matters to me," Sophia declares firmly. I cannot help but smile. She clearly already heard the rumors. She kept quiet for days. Was she actually here to play my knight in shining armor? We arrive at the restaurant, but the moment we sit, my phone vibrates with an urgent message. It is from Ella. 2 chilling words. "I am sorry." Jack freezes, staring at the glowing screen. A sudden apology. She is desperate to keep me from Sophia. Jealousy is a funny thing, isn't it? She only panics now that I have stopped chasing her. "What are you craving?" Sophia asks, breaking my thoughts. "You choose, I am not picky." Sophia orders, making sure to add the spicy dishes Jack loves. Their evening dinners have become a ritual. By now, Sophia knows his heart and his palate perfectly. Dad is still buried in work. I sigh. The thought of Uncle Owen casts a heavy shadow over me. In his past life, his father's time was cut out by a tragic accident just before graduation. Now Jack balances intense studying with the few precious moments he gets with his workaholic father. Time was always a luxury they could not afford, but this time Jack has a desperate plan. When that fateful day arrives, he will stop his father from leaving and rewrite their destiny. Sophia watches him eat in silence. She can see he is drifting into a dark, distant memory again. Her gut tells her he is hiding a heavy burden, but she chooses to give him space. Ella returns home to find Steve, her gambling addict of a father, waiting in the shadows. His eyes are cold as ice. "How is your progress with Jack? Have you won him back yet?" There is no progress. Ella's heart had been racing, but now it turns to stone before him. "I told you to seduce him," Steve sneers. At the sight of him, Ella's soul goes completely numb. "Why should I grovel? He fired me. You expect me to crawl back and beg for money." Her pride is wounded, and seeing him with Sophia burns, yet she refuses to be a puppet. Looking at her father's wretched state, she is almost glad Jack is far away from this nightmare. Before she can finish, Steve's hand cracks across her face. "You useless, stupid girl. If you do not get him back, we are broke. Now give me every cent you have." He is bled dry at the tables again. Ella glares back. "Gambling again. Stay out of my life. Do not talk back like your mother." When Jack was around, the cash never stopped flowing. "I could bet whatever I wanted, but you chose that broke loser over our golden ticket. Get Jack back or you will regret it," Steve growls before storming out into the night. The moment he leaves, Ella checks her secret stash. It is gone. He found her emergency fund. In this cramped, miserable apartment, privacy was a luxury she never truly possessed. She had been skimming off the money Jack gave her, desperate to build a future for herself. University was her only escape, and she knew her father would not provide a single dime. She relied only on herself, but he still managed to steal her dreams. He is already gone. She kicks the wall in a fit of rage. Meanwhile, Jack and Sophia exit into the rain. The driver opens the door, but Sophia grabs the umbrella to walk Jack to his porch personally. The rain is pouring. "Get inside quickly," Jack urges. Sophia looks at him with a tender gaze. "Good night," she whispers softly. As those bright eyes lock onto his, Jack feels his cheeks flush. "Get some rest. I will see you tomorrow." Sophia nods, disappearing back into the safety of the car. As she drives away, Jack realizes he is genuinely happy, a feeling he has not felt in years. He turns to head inside, but a voice stops him cold. "Jack." Ella emerges drenched and shivering. She has been waiting in the downpour, soaked to the bone. The sight of her leaves me speechless. "What are you doing here?" First the text. "Now this my performance earlier worked better than expected." Ella stares at me. My warm smile for Sophia vanishes, replaced by a gaze of pure ice. "So you are actually happy with her?" "Yes," Jack replies coldly. "She actually treats me with respect." Unlike the icy girl he once knew, Ella looks vulnerable, almost tender. It is a sight he never expected. Even though he knows her, every move is a calculated lie. Catching this rare glimpse of her vulnerability sparks a dark satisfaction deep in Jack's chest. "Speak. What's your endgame, Ella?" Jack demands. A mysterious, fleeting smirk dances on her lips in response. "Is this it?" "Have you truly cut me off?" she asks. Jack scoffs. "Running low on funds for your little games again." Jack's voice is ice cold. "That desperate gaze of yours only ever appears when you're hunting for my wallet." "You're overthinking," Ella counters, locking eyes with him. "Maybe I just wanted to see your face." Then she turns away. "I'm leaving." She barely takes a step before her world tilts. Jack watches in shock as her body hits the cold pavement. "Auntie Chen, come quick." The housekeeper rushes out, her face turning pale. "Is that Miss Ella Heavens what happened to her?" Jack frowns. "She just collapsed." Auntie Chen shields her from the rain, checking her temperature. "She's scorching. This fever is dangerously high. What's the plan? Do we help her?" Jack sighs. "Bring her in. Call the doctor immediately." Auntie Chen hesitates. "Her old room? Didn't Uncle Steve have a guest room?" Jack asks coldly. Just throw her in there for now. Her old room was a palace Jack built out of love. Giving her that luxury now would be a total waste of space. In his eyes, a servant's room is more than she deserves. Auntie Chen follows his orders, settling the girl in the staff quarters. After the doctor arrives, the diagnosis is simple, a standard fever, nothing fatal. Finally, they leave her to rest in silence. Jack stares out at the torrential downpour, his mind racing. Even after a hot shower, the darkness offers him no sleep. A ping from Sophia breaks the silence. "I'm home safely." Jack quickly types back, "Good, I just got out of the shower." "Go to sleep then. Sweet dreams." Jack puts his phone aside, the warm words finally pulling him into a dreamless slumber. At breakfast, Jack tries to sound indifferent. "How's the patient?" Auntie Chen sighs. "She vanished at dawn without a single word." Jack blinks, genuinely surprised. "Gone already, I thought she'd stay." "I tried to stop her," Auntie Chen mutters, "but she was stubborn." "I'll never understand what goes on in that girl's mind," Auntie Chen laments. Jack nods. "Trust me, you're not alone. She's a total enigma." Auntie Chen gives him a motherly look. "Young Master Sophia is a much better match for a man like you. Please stay away from Ella. She's terrified that Jack might become that pathetic, lovesick puppet he used to be." Jack lets out a dry laugh. "Relax. I only helped because she died on my doorstep. I'm not that fool anymore. Having a corpse at the gate is bad luck, that's all." Auntie Chen finally beams with relief. "I'm glad to hear that." Seeing him trade obsession for logic eases her heart. The once spoiled heir has finally matured into a real man. When Jack reaches campus, Ella is already there, perfectly composed as if nothing happened the night before. She ignores him completely, her face like a mask of ice. Jack bristles. The audacity of this girl is truly staggering. He literally saved her, and he doesn't even get a thank you. Fine. He slams into his seat, ignoring her existence. Does she think he's still her loyal little lapdog? Dream on. As class dismisses, Ryan approaches with a worried look. They head to the council room together. "You look pale, Ella," Ryan says softly. "Are you really feeling okay today?" "I'm fine," she mutters. Ryan nods, but seeing her with Jack yesterday is a thorn in his side he can't remove. Silence follows. Ever since her father Steve extorted her yesterday, a dark cloud has hung over her soul. Ryan takes a deep breath, his heart aching. "Ella, if your heart still belongs to Jack, I won't stand in your way." "You're delusional," Ella snaps, looking him dead in the eye. "I have absolutely zero feelings left for that man. A reunion is impossible. I just hate seeing him parade around with Sophia as if he didn't ruin everything." "They don't get a happy ending." Ryan nods firmly. "Good. Remember, I'm the one who will always have your back." She shudders, thinking of her father's plan to use her as bait for Jack's fortune. She refuses to be his pawn. Steve is a monster with no rock bottom. She knows he'll use her, but she's determined to break his chains. That's why she fled his house at daybreak. She needs to sever every single tie to Jack before it's too late. Days pass, and Ella is surgically attached to Ryan. She's a ghost in Jack's world now, and he couldn't care less. Jack buries himself in his studies, spending his nights hunting for prime real estate. He's building an empire one plot at a time. He knows these dirt-cheap prices will skyrocket soon. One late afternoon, Jack lingers on campus long after the final bell. After finishing his work, he finds the gates deserted. Suddenly, a familiar, greasy voice calls out, "Young Master Jack." Jack looks up to see Steve grinning at him. "Uncle Steve," Jack says flatly. "I assume you're here to see your daughter." Steve scoffs. "Check-in on her. That ungrateful brat needs more than a check-in. I've been giving her a piece of my mind. She's wasting time with that Ryan kid. She has no idea what's good for her." Jack stares back. "Don't be too hard on her." Steve claims he's fine, but Jack eyes his ragged appearance with a subtle scowl. Suddenly, Ella and Ryan emerge. Seeing the pair together, Ella's blood begins to boil. "What now?" she demands. Steve is broke again and crawling back for more cash. Steve sneers back. "Talking to my son-in-law here. Mind your business and beat it." Ella's sharp gaze pierces Jack. "And you still dreaming of being his son-in-law? Really? Check a mirror first. Get out." She unleashes her fury without a shred of restraint. Jack knows her icy heart, yet the sheer venom of her words leaves him stunned. He takes a breath to recover. "You flatter yourself. Who'd want you anyway?" He retorts and walks off. Steve yells, "I'll send her to find you soon." "I'll handle her at home," Steve mutters, but Ella blocks his path instantly. Steve glares. "You won't help yourself, and now you're sabotaging my plans too. We had him right there. Why must you ruin everything?" he rages at her. From his car, Jack watches the tense standoff. "Stay away from my school," Ella snaps. "I'll go where I want." "Where's the money?" Steve demands. "I have absolutely nothing." "You stole my college fund already," Ella cries. "What have you done with it?" Steve explodes. Back then, Ella had Jack wrapped around her finger without a complaint. He didn't care about Ryan then, but the game has completely changed now. Jack cut her off for good. "This is my problem," Ella insists. "Go home." "I have a shift to start." Steve scoffs. "That pathetic job, is that all?" "It pays nothing. You should be winning Jack back, not chasing him away." Steve raises a hand, then stops. "We'll finish this later. Give me the money. If you don't pay up, I'm going straight to Jack's place myself. Understood?" "You're heartless, just like your mother." Ella's expression remains as cold as stone. "Live or die, I don't care." She boards the bus, leaving Ryan standing there. Steve fumes, clutching the few bills. His daughter is slipping from his control. Ryan watched the drama from the shadows, far too afraid to ever step in. Once they vanish, he finally emerges. He only knew Steve as a lowly driver. Seeing the truth of Ella's desperate life is a heavy blow for him to take. He stayed back to avoid the mess. Some things are just too embarrassing to face. Jack lingers in the car before finally ordering the driver to move out. He scoffs at Ella's ego. She thinks I'd marry her in her wild dreams. Back home, Auntie Chen greets him warmly. "Welcome back, young master." Jack is silent. "Who upset you?" she asks. "Nobody. Just a bad omen of a person. Send Sophia up when she arrives." Sophia has been running much later recently. Jack wonders why. He heads upstairs just as Sophia finally walks through the door. "He seems off today," Sophia notes. Chen sighs. "It must be about Ella again. She's the only one who triggers him." Sophia heads up to the study. She finds Jack laughing at a holiday sketch, completely absorbed in the comedy. He looks genuinely happy. Sophia quietly takes the empty seat right beside him. "You're here." "Sorry I got delayed. You've been quite busy lately, too." She used to be early, but something is clearly consuming all her time now. "It won't affect us," she promises. "Your grades are actually improving very fast." Jack looks at her. "You're heading to the capital after graduation, aren't you?" Sophia freezes in shock. Her family pushed for it, but she's kept it secret. "How did you know?" Jack smiles. "Because I've lived through this once already." There are so many things I never told her back then. Leaving her side was unthinkable to me. Ella chose a local school, so he stayed behind as well. In that past life, her scores were high enough for the elite top 2, yet she stayed in Youngville. Jack never truly understood her reasons. Perhaps she simply couldn't bear the thought of leaving her hometown. Or maybe she just couldn't leave Ryan. He never kept secrets from her, but she never let him in. Then his father passed away during that period, making everything fall apart. Sophia promises to go, but only after exams. "Do you think my grades are good enough for the capital?" Sophia looks at me and nods. "If you truly want it, you can make it." Jack closes his laptop and stretches. "Then that's the goal." Sophia blinks, stunned. "You really want to go to the capital?" "I just want to give this life everything I've got," Jack says. "I've been given a second chance. I'm aiming high. Without a big dream, no amount of luck will save you." Sophia watches him, seeing that old spark of confidence return to his eyes. "Feeling better now." "Ella really got under my skin," Jack admits, giving her a quick summary of the drama at the gate. "Isn't it pathetic? I never said a word about marriage. She acted like I was dragging her to the altar and then exploded on me. Unbelievable. She wants Ryan fine. I'm not desperate for her. It's my own fault for being so blind before. I made her believe she was the center of the world." Sophia whispers softly. "Our Jack is the absolute best. You are way too good for someone like her." Jack looks over, finding her gazing at him with pure sincerity. His face flushes warm before he can stop it. He thought his heart had died in his previous life. But when Sophia speaks to him like this, something incredibly shy stirs inside. He takes a moment to compose himself. "Do you talk to everyone like that?" "No," Sophia says firmly. "I don't say things like that to just anyone." "So that means I'm special to you." Sophia tenses up instantly. She looks away, her expression becoming very serious. "I promised Uncle Owen I would take good care of you." The mention of his father makes Jack's heart sink. She really is far too obedient for her own good, always following the rules. "If your family told you to be with someone else later, would you just follow orders?" Sophia looks at Jack, unreadable. Seeing the question hit a nerve, Jack waves it off. "Forget it. I was joking. Don't take it so seriously. You make me feel like a bully." Jack starts to worry that Sophia might not actually have feelings for him. "Sophia, is there someone you actually like?" Sophia blinks, completely thrown by the blunt question. "Why ask that?" "Just curious," Jack says. "Your deal with my dad is your business, but you have your own feelings, right? If you like someone else, don't force yourself to stay." Sophia stares at Jack for a long, heavy moment. "We've been together every day lately. Are you already getting tired of me?" A flicker of hurt crosses her eyes. Jack stands up. "I'm heading home. I didn't mean to push you away." "Hey, Sophia, come on!" But she's already gone. Auntie Chen sees her rushing down the stairs. "Miss Sophia, I'm heading out," she says, her face tight. "Of course, take care," Auntie Chen replies. Jack comes down only to find her already gone. Auntie Chen looks at him. "What happened now?" "She's upset again," Jack mutters. "I was just making conversation. Why is she so sensitive about everything?" As Jack tries to go after her, Auntie Chen stops him. "The property manager said they'd be here shortly." Jack remembers he's in the middle of some major real estate deals and needs to focus. He reins in his emotions to handle business first. When Ella gets home, her father Steve is still there. Usually he'd be gone, but he found no money after ransacking the place and is now just smoking. When he sees Ella, Steve sneers, "Worked all night, and for what? A few measly pennies. 1,000 a month is nothing. It's not worth a fingernail clipping compared to what Jack could provide." "Whatever I earn it myself," Ella snaps. "And what does all that effort get you? You couldn't earn in a lifetime what Jack used to hand over. Don't get arrogant just because you work hard. This world runs on money and connections. Remember the life we had at Jack's place. Look at us now." "I'm not doing it," Ella says. "Aren't you afraid of being called a scammer and hauled off to jail? Just don't drag me down with you." Ella turns to face him. "You talk about family money and status. So why haven't you as a father built any of that?" Steve stammers, then recovers. "I just had bad luck. Listen, your mother's constant illness was a total dead weight. She dragged me down. That's why you must secure Jack. What can a nobody like Ryan offer? Marry him and you'll spend your entire life rotting in poverty. The Jack family is filthy rich and that boy was obsessed with you. One sweet smile and he'd be your puppet." "I don't like him," Ella snaps. "But since when did feelings pay the bills? This isn't about falling in love. It's about securing his fortune. What's the problem?" But Ella's resolve remains absolutely unshakable. Looking at Jack, she realizes they belong to different worlds. She refuses to be a pawn in her father's game. Life was simpler with him, she can't deny that. But her father's greedy gloating makes her blood run cold. He broke her mother and mistreated her for years. Now he wants to live off her. This gambler deserves nothing. Steve scoffs. "Without the legendary looks I gave you, do you think anyone would even glance your way? Sure, your grades are fine, but mine were just as good. Even Owen isn't anything special. His scores were lower than mine back then. He only succeeded because of his family's silver spoon." Ella's gaze turns to ice. She retreats to her room, leaving Steve to rant at the closed door for hours. She blocks out his noise with tissue. The next morning at school, Jack's eyes lock onto her the moment she enters. A dark bruise mars her porcelain skin. Jack's heart drops. Did that bastard Steve actually strike her last night? Did he beat her the moment she got home? As Ella takes her seat, a heavy silence falls over the classroom. Ryan is visibly shaken by the sight of her injury, but Ella remains silent, ignoring Jack's intense, burning gaze. She's stubborn, unlucky, and absolutely infuriating. Jack can't help himself. "Did your father do this to you?" "What, you want to play hero again?" Ella sneers. "Fine, give me a few million for his gambling debts." "Pay up and I'll date you." "Deal." Her eyes flash with bitter mockery, treating his concern like a pathetic joke. It's the kind of look that makes your blood boil. "I just asked a simple question," Jack growls. "And you jump straight to millions in dating. What kind of twisted logic is that?" "Then stay out of my business." Ella looks away. In truth, it wasn't her father who hit her. Debt collectors cornered her this morning demanding Steve's money. They left her with a brutal warning to pay up. When she lived at the Jack estate, she was shielded. Her father had a job and the money flowed freely. Even when Steve stole from her, he never left her empty. She spent recklessly back then on purpose. She burned through cash simply to keep it out of her father's greedy, reaching hands. Compared to those golden days, her life now is a total disaster, yet she refuses to crawl back to Jack. If she manipulated Jack as Steve suggested, she'd become the very monster she despises most. Jack looks at her with a strangely warm expression. "Actually, I do care about you, Ella." Ella freezes, caught off guard by the word. Then Jack's lips curve into a cruel, perfect smirk. "Knowing your life is falling apart makes me feel completely at peace." Sincere warmth, delivering soul-crushing venom. "Next time your dad swings, let me know. I'd love to cheer him on." Ella's eyes turn murderous. Pushed to her absolute limit, the dam finally breaks and she snaps. "You think being with Sophia will bring you happiness? She's leagues above you in every possible way." She clearly has a hidden agenda. Jack's jaw tightens. "What happens with Sophia is none of your business." Jack glares at Ryan, who is buried in his notes. Usually he'd be the first to rush to her side. But today, Ryan won't even look her way. "He's just focused on his studies," Ella mutters. "Right," Jack scoffs. "And yesterday, when your dad showed up, he stayed far away from the trouble." "Are you about to be dumped by both of us, Ella?" Ryan has always been a sharp opportunist. He won't risk his future for her baggage. He sees her gambling father as a sinking ship. In their past life together, their romance only survived because the Jack family paid for everything. Ella had the funds to silence her father. But now that Jack has cut the lifeline, the cracks in Ella's life are widening into canyons. In that other timeline, Jack would have ended this nightmare before she even felt the sting. Now Jack's words leave her exposed and broken. And just as he predicted, Ryan is nowhere to be found. Ryan looks swamped. Bree approaches and gasps at Ella. "Girl, what happened? Were you in a brawl?" As a star student, this is a total shock. Ella just mutters, "I'm fine, it's nothing." Bree eyes Jack suspiciously, before turning back. "Should we tell a teacher, do you need backup?" "Nope." Jack watches Bree hover and asks, "What's Ryan's deal?" Bree shoots back an answer. "He's prepping a speech for class." I just scoff. "Busy, huh?" Meanwhile, his girl is hurt and he's oblivious. Bree snaps. "Mind your business. They have a system." "What are you even implying?" Ryan worships the ground she walks on. He's the most devoted guy there is. They're even hitting the same college soon. Not that you could ever get in. Rich or not, Daddy's money won't buy you a seat at the top universities. Nearby, Ryan cringes, wishing Bree would shut up. He's trying to lay low, but she's shouting his business. I turn to Ella. "So where are you actually headed?" In the previous timeline, they chose Youngville University, but Jack was always suspicious. Why settle for less with her grades? He figured it was Ryan's fault. Ella gives him a cold stare. "Why the interest?" Jack just grins. "If I know your target, maybe I'll apply there too." Imagine the fun plus I can watch if your perfect romance actually survives the real world. "Is he for real?" Bree scoffs. "Your grades are trash. You honestly think you're on their level?" "You've improved, sure, but you're not even top 10. You'll never make the cut." Ella looks at him with pure boredom. "We're aiming for the nation's top 2. Follow us if you can." Ella is dead serious about those schools. The capital is her only escape from Steve and her chance to find her mom. Youngville is out. Why settle for Youngville? That's your ceiling, Jack, not mine. I just smile. Fine by me. Top 2 it is then. Bree wants to laugh but keeps it in, fearing Jack's temper. She retreats to Ryan's side and whispers, Jack is delusional. He actually thinks he's smart now. He really believes he can bridge that gap. He's completely lost his mind. Ryan watches Jack. He'd hoped Jack would still chase Ella, but Sophia changed everything. He studies Jack intently, then asks Bree, think he still carries a torch for Ella? Because if he does, that's our golden ticket. If Jack stepped in, Steve would vanish and the money would flow. Bree's eyes flare with jealousy. If he crawls back to her, I'll end him. Ryan sighs. Having a clueless friend is exhausting. That afternoon, the duo heads to their secret meeting. Once alone, Ryan asks, that bruise, was it your dad? Ella sighs. Debt collectors showed up. Things turned violent over money. Ryan saw this coming. Ella just nods sadly. Ryan takes a deep breath, finally speaking his mind. Ella, this nightmare has to end. Have you considered asking Jack for help? Ella is stunned. Help how, Mai? You used to tutor him. We were harsh before, but he's still a rich young master. Let's be nicer. He wouldn't mind paying for an extra tutor like you. No way, Ella snaps. Jack already fired her. She won't go back and beg. She's broke, but her pride is still intact. What's the big deal? Ryan asks. It's just business. You'd make way more than that cafe job and your dad would be covered. Being pushed toward Jack feels wrong. You're okay with me seeing him? Ryan just grins. Why not? You don't love him. Letting him spend money on you is his only hobby. Everyone knows about him and Sophia, Ella argues. Going back now makes me look desperate. I'm not selling my soul for cash. Ryan scoffs. Sophia will hear the rumors eventually. She'll dump him and you'll just be a friend helping out. It's perfectly normal. You don't want to watch him ruin his life, do you? Ella remains silent. She can't deny it. Sophia is flawless, but this engagement is a cold business arrangement. Sophia's heart isn't in it. Seeing her silence, Ryan steps in. I'll talk to Jack myself. I'll get him to hire you back. Trust me, I can make it happen. Ella, your future is at stake. At this rate, your father's mess will ruin everything. Ella stares at him, her chest tightening as a flicker of cold fury begins to burn. Do you think I'm that desperate for him? That's not what I meant, Ryan counters. Jack is just playing games. I won't crawl back and drag him into my family's disaster. Without another word, Ella marches into the meeting, leaving the heavy tension behind. Later that day, Jack retreats from the crowd to find some peace beneath a tree. Ryan approaches with a fake friendly smile. Why so lonely? Jack looks up, his eyes sharp. He smells an agenda immediately. What now? Think I've actually got other friends here. Ever since the fallout, Jack has been a social ghost, lacking Ryan and Ella's golden charm. But Jack doesn't give a damn. If he were that fragile, he would have snapped long ago. Ryan settles down, eyeing Jack's luxury gear. The sheer wealth Jack possesses is truly undeniable. Hey, can we talk? Ryan asks. Go for it, Jack replies as Ryan prepares his pitch. Would you let Ella tutor you again, Jack? She's really hitting rock bottom right now. You know about her father, right? I do, Jack says. But what's that to me? Just show some mercy, Ryan says sincerely. If you don't, things will only get worse. You've got the cash. She'll work hard, and I'll even help you study as well. We could all get into the same university. Ryan secretly doubts Jack has the brains. Once exams are over, Ella would be safe and Jack would finally be out of mind. Jack meets his gaze with terrifying silence. Ryan shifts, sweating. Why the intense look? Do I look like a fool? Jack snaps. You're happy now, yet you're begging for money. You think I'll fund your little romance like some brainless ATM again? I'm not that guy. Ryan meets Jack's cold gaze. This amount of money is nothing to you, Jack. You dropped a fortune on her birthday once. This is just spare change now. I'd rather burn my money than give her a cent. I'm done being your bank. Jack watches him, stunned by Ryan's audacity. The nerve it took to ask this is insane. Is he really not ashamed? Ryan speaks up again. If you're only bitter because of me and Ella,